Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes. So today is National Pizza Day.
Oh boy.
And I will just say this once, that pizza is wonderful, pineapple is delicious, but the two should never touch.
All right, let's get this out of the way right now. Godless Sewing of the Godless Sewing channel. You know, I'm all for inclusion and love and hand-holding and long walks on the beach. Pineapple on pizza is an abomination. And every time you eat pineapple on pizza, the baby Jesus cries.
Very sour in his tears.
I was raised Catholic, so I go straight to guilt.
I will continue to try and have compassion for people who like pineapple on pizza until we have perfected a way to remove the malfunctioning brain chips.
Yeah. I tried. When I lived in Los Angeles, there's a place called La Pizza Loca. And their
crazy pizza?
Yeah. And their famous pizza is a Hawaiian pizza, and it's gross. I can't get into the citrus on the pizza. And I'm
okay, who invented Hawaiian pizza?
Greek people?
Canadians.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada.
And let's just take a quick look who we've got in the side chat here. We've got Nerdy Rodent, but he may get kicked out quickly.
I love you, Nerdy.
Commander 401, Greg Hartwick, and Slim the Living Cyborg. Oh, and Jeff.
All those crazy people.
And I've tried. I was actually going to do a video called The Conversion of Sewing just for clickbait to see how many people would watch my video, but I can't bring myself to eating pineapple on pizza.
Oh, come on.
I have pineapple on pepperoni pizza. That's the pizza I normally get.
Oh, that's actually, I love pepperoni, Doc. I love pepperoni.
And that sweet, that sweet pepperoni, it just, I don't know what it does with the spicy pepperoni, the sweet pineapple and the spicy pepperoni together. It just
pepperoni sucks.
It just does it for me.
You eat bacon, Jenny?
I've got to do a live stream and have some pizza with pineapple. On the air,
no,
eating
pepperoni
the pineapple pizza.
I had this call. Alexa, what animal does pepperoni come from?
It's pork, I think.
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, pepperoni is an American variety of salami made from cured pork and beef.
Okay.
Is that helpful?
Yes, thank you very much, Alexa.
What was the question?
I'm back, sorry.
Is pepperoni? Does pepperoni come from pork? And it does. It's a form of salami, but it comes from a pig.
Yeah. From what I understand, it's actually a third of each meat, beef, chicken, and pork.
I don't hate pepperoni. I should clarify. I just think they put too much of it on a pizza. I like to, even on a frozen pizza, I'll take the pepperoni off and break it up and then scatter it lightly around the pizza so it's just an accent of flavor and doesn't dump all that grease everywhere.
So it's funny you'd say that, Jenny. Every Thursday or Friday, I come to a point where I'm like, I am done cooking. So I order pizza or Chinese food or something. Last week, on my half of the pizza, because Isaiah gets plain cheese, I got plain old bacon.
Oh,
I don't know why I haven't had that combination. Bacon on pizza is amazing.
Oh yeah, it is.
No,
just bacon. It was just bacon. I don't know why I've never told them. It was amazing.
See, this is how I know. This is how I know I'm a mutant, because I'm the Iowan here, and I'm the only one here who probably can't stand pork.
Wow. Wow.
I don't know.
What's the name?
Okay. I mean,
I don't know. It's not such a bad thing to have empathy for your neighbors.
Domino's used to make a bacon cheeseburger pizza, and it was ground beef, bacon, cheddar cheese, and it was just really, really good. I had them add mushrooms on it because I like mushrooms.
Yep.
Yeah, first time at Uni,
very
we had
enjoyable.
Domino's Pizza down the street from the dorm. Yeah, they got a good bit of business from us.
I recently had this conversation. I can't remember with who, but then I Googled my local Domino's, and every picture on their site was a complaint from a customer. And I mean, it's going back years. I mean, they must play frisbee with their pizzas.
Where I'm from, Domino's sucks pretty bad. They're pretty disgusting.
Yeah, but hey, honestly, you want a business that can't fail. Set up a pizza place adjacent to a college campus.
Yes,
There you
absolutely,
go.
absolutely. Yeah, especially our meal plan first time around did not include Sunday dinner. So, we were on our own for Sunday dinner, so it was either the Wendy's or the Domino's down the street.
When I was in high school, I had a business model to have a donut shop. The
Next to a
cops.
police station?
No, well, at most anywhere, because it'd be full of cops all the time. That way, I don't have to pay for security.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's so true. The cops have adopted the Special K. The Circle K. Special K is something you shouldn't do without a diaper on. Circle K is a convenience store. The cops are there so much. It's the only place in my town that hasn't been randomly robbed, and it's right by the freeway.
See, there you go, man.
Oh, it's real.
Free
That's
security.
real. Yeah. Oh, that's real.
Hi, Slim.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, is that Slim?
How's it going?
The picture's way too small for me to tell who it is. Hi, Slim.
That was a Freudian slip with my
Here,
Special
I can
K.
wave at you. There's a wave.
There, now he's bigger.
There you go. Wait a minute, I just clicked off that. What is that you have there, hon?
They're gremlin bells, good luck bells that you put on your motorcycle. So I'm putting the dingers in all these bells.
Oh, I have not seen those made
Okay,
before.
then. Okay.
So that's what I'm doing today.
Well, that's awesome. Domino's
pizza.
Okay.
Let's start out with that. British keep calling French fries chips. That's a problem.
So I eat
why would you put chunks of potato on your pizza? That doesn't make any sense.
I eat a really racist pizza. It's called the White Knight. It has chicken, Alfredo sauce, chunks of potato on it, and bits of bacon. It's the greatest thing. I ordered.
Yeah, but it's called that because of the white sauce on it. Come on.
Oh, I know. I grew up in the David Duke era. So if you say White Knight, I instantly start giggling like a kid.
I do like Alfredo based pizzas though. They're pretty nice, different.
Oh. And that same place, they make another tomato basil pizza with just a little bit of Alfredo and a little bit of basil and fresh tomatoes on top. It is so good.
No, you're making me want, and I can't have tomatoes as much as I used to have them.
If it makes you feel any better, neither can I, and I can't drink milk anymore, and that was the staple of my diet.
Oh, man. So what? Do you have a restricted phosphorus diet also?
Well, it's because of my lungs and the drugs I'm on. And the milk builds up mucus and phlegm in my lungs.
Ooh.
And I drank it years. I was told 10 years ago I wasn't supposed to drink. I drank it up until almost 2 years ago. The doctor was like, "Are you trying to die? Do you want to die?"
I used to could drink a quart at a time, really.
Oh yeah.
And,
yeah.
When I died, so did the milk from my diet, unfortunately.
And I think also the way I treat myself, sometimes I think I'm pre-diabetic.
Oops, not good.
Yeah, but
that's something I have to worry about too, because I guess it works both ways. Diabetes and kidney failure, I guess, are often comorbid. So, yeah.
Oh yeah. Does it run in your family?
I don't know. I'm adopted.
Oh, okay. Because in mine it does, and it's almost like every male in my family who ever smoked died of cancer or emphysema. So it's pretty much known if I started smoking Marlboros again, what's going to happen soon.
Okay, then, yeah.
I've had doctors.
Really,
oh, sorry. Go
really
ahead.
Whoops, sorry.
No, please go ahead.
That really pisses me off about not knowing my medical history. When I was in hospital for a month back in '76, it really pissed off the doctors that I didn't know my medical history. But I guess what are you going to do?
Exactly.
So all kinds of surprises in for me.
How dare you be adopted and make their jobs more difficult?
How dare you actually have to make them do their job?
Yeah, I know.
By finding out what's
I'm snacking on one of my guilty pleasures right now.
What's that?
What?
Out of the can, black olives.
Oh, yummy!
Black olives are awesome.
Yes. You're making me want some. Maybe I'll have to buy
I'm okay
some
with
when
that.
I go
I
shopping.
prefer the green olives out of the jar.
Oh yeah, I like those too.
I don't think I've ever had a green olive sober ever.
I am not
I didn't know green
a
olives
green
got
olive
from.
fan as I am a black olive fan.
Try some on pizza.
Ew.
I
haven't had a
think I've
drink
done
in.
that.
Oh, that reminds I know it's strange to people that my ex-wife and I get along, but she was the MVP this year on my birthday. She came over to my house and she walks in my house with a bag and she gave me a 40 and a giant blunt and she spelled out my age. And I almost cried because she knows me. I don't drink anymore. And my neighbor was so happy when I gave him a beer. But it was considerate.
Well, there was the blunt.
Yeah, a giant one too. Like she had to go to the store to go get it. It's the top shelf one that you see. You're like, who smokes that? I did on my birthday.
I guess they are talking about recreational grass here in Pennsylvania again. I don't know that it'll ever get passed through, though.
So I have a question. What happened here was that people of a certain age started aging out, and the younger generation outnumbered the older. Is that what's happening in your state?
I expect that's what we have to wait for in most states.
Yeah, I was about to say that, huh? Yeah, I think that's the people my age and older are going to have to die, and then maybe some better things will start happening.
Because we tried when Colorado legalized it, and we got shot down twice by our own voters here in California.
The Republican Party here in Wisconsin, I say here in Wisconsin, I consider myself a dual citizen of both states because, I grew up 60 years in Wisconsin. I can't just stop thinking I'm a Wisconsinite. Anyways, in Wisconsin, they have proposed a medical marijuana bill by a Republican.
That's interesting.
Who, if I recall, one of his family members had cancer.
Oh,
how they love to, hate everything until they need it.
Exactly.
But it's getting shot down for a second time. It's like, come on, this is one of your own. They got this really nice model, for everything's controlled and what you can get it for, what you can't, and they're just saying no. Fucking
Minnesota
babies.
has medical marijuana on the books, but I've yet to find anyone who has a prescription for it. They've made the doctors paranoid about prescribing it.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, the problem we have here in Pennsylvania is all the Amish in York and Lancaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And they're still they still call it, what do they call it? Oh, the devil's lettuce.
Yes.
I love that saying.
But it's natural. They could grow it. It could actually be a cash crop for the Amish.
Yeah, you'd think they would think of that.
My dad told me his grandmother was a born slave and she lived to be in her 90s. I mean, she lived all the way into the 40s or 50s. And my dad would always say that his grandma had a patch of weed next to her tobacco and would mix it in. And she was an old lady. They literally lived on 40 acres and a mule out in the middle of nowhere in Georgia, you know. So you can't grow that stuff anywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I'm not hearing the music, but who's running the game of musical chairs here? Why do we keep having people dropping out and coming back in?
I just got a phone call from like a random number, like I just got for like 15 fucking times today.
And you got to change your shirt too.
And it fucking like shut off my mic and screwed up everything, so I had to restart and
You
rejoin.
must be running Windows.
No, I'm on an iPhone. I don't even have a computer.
Oh, gee, okay.
So I got a phone call and it just fucked everything up.
Yeah, well, StreamYard seems to suck on mobile devices.
Well, they fixed something because the camera was not even working in StreamYard last week. And this week it does. And I haven't changed anything.
Okay, I don't know what's going on, but something's weird with my sound. It keeps sounding like people are walking past me. Because it keeps starting in my left earphone and then it wanders over to my right.
Oh, that's
kind of
weird.
Cool.
Alrighty.
Moody Blues.
Do you have my ex-wife's brother, who I still hang out with? He has epilepsy, and he has full-on hallucinations all the time. All the time. He's the one. He told me he's an atheist because of his epileptic hallucinations. Because he knows they're false, and he'll see like a deity or something, and he'll see like, I'm hallucinating. I didn't take my medicine today.
I get it now. Yeah,
because it's controllable. You know, he's like, you know, because he's been asking me for years, like, are you really an atheist? You know, I've known him for 14 years now. We still hang out.
Hallucinations coming in the third day without sleep.
I did so many drugs as a kid. Like I'm just like, all right, I either hit my spine or I got high for free off something I took, or I'm allergic to something. I learned the hard way though. I put a salon pause on my back and I felt like I was dripping into my couch. So I'll probably never do that again.
That sounds suggestive.
No. It's just those old hallucinogenic drugs don't go away. You think they do, but they don't.
Well, the drugs go away, but the memory is burned in your brain forever.
Exactly. And you know, it's funny you would say that, because I can't say I overdosed on mushrooms because I don't know if that's possible, but I took too many and freaked out. And when I exceed a certain body high, I get a flashback of the fear of how high I was.
Oh, that would be awful. I remember the sense of paranoia you got sometimes when you smoke pot, you know, when you're a new smoker. It was terrible. It was scary as fuck.
I never had that, but I've heard of people having it.
That's why people freak out. Like, that's why I always tell people, like, you know, check out your buddy, because if their mental health is borderline, they might freak out if you take a major drug.
Okay,
you know,
then.
It happened to me. It happened to someone I love. I still hang out with. 20 years ago, he looked in the mirror and he's like, I'm dead. I'm a skeleton. He just started going down the hole and completely digressing. I had to babysit him, and drugs really messed him up. And he has been low confidence since then. And we're sideline doctors, so we all trace it back to the time he took too much acid and freaked out and was never right after that. So don't ever take medical advice from sewing. Don't do and just say no, kids.
Well, that's like the Pink Floyd lead guitarist Sid Barrett. Barrett is the last name, I forget.
Yep, Sid Barrett.
He tripped on some of their early years and he never came back.
Sid Barrett had all kinds of mental issues before he ever did any drugs. He was definitely a person who he definitely did too many drugs and too much acid.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't have probably done any in the first place.
You want to wear that? That's cool.
And that's why so many of their songs revolve around that. Actually, if you listen to them closely.
Yeah. The whole album "Wish You Were Here" was an homage to Syd Barrett. They never forgot him.
Yeah.
So many of his songs, so many of their songs are tributes to him. So
that's my favorite Floyd album.
I love Floyd. And to answer Marcus Caesar's question, I asked him the same question, and that's where the whole atheist conversation came from. Because I tried to tell him, like, I had a hallucination of God when I was a kid, and Jesus was black. I was on drugs, you know.
Well, that's the thing that amazes the hell out of me. It's you look around the living rooms of all these old ladies around here, and they've got the white Jesus that looks like sort of like a Medici prince or whatever. The man was a freaking Jew, Come on.
The Israelis were black. Like if you really want to trace it back that far, what we consider Caucasian people weren't even around yet because we all evolve off of each other.
Yeah.
So
the people who were in the Middle East at the time really hadn't discovered Europe yet.
By the time Alexander the Great got to Egypt, Egypt was ancient, and we consider Alexander the Great ancient.
Yeah.
So this is the argument I always have. I think sometimes chronologically we do this young Earth creationist thing where we compress time. Time is long, it's wide. When people are like, life is short, I'm like, you're not paying attention, dude.
And I could be wrong, but as I understand it, anything 500 years or older is considered ancient. That's why in Star Trek The Next Generation, they didn't talk about the Old West. They called it the ancient now? West.
Doc, I love it when that episode with Worf and Counselor Troy, and they're like, "Oh, let's go to the ancient West with Alexander." I love that episode.
That was a good one. My shoe, and I haven't worn my pendant in a hell of a long time. So
the one thing I love about Star Trek, and Enterprise does it the best, is they watch old black and white movies. So they're in the future. And they're watching, like, Buster Crab and like, I love it. I absolutely love that.
I wonder if they watch the newer version of Buck Rogers.
Which one?
the porn one.
Oh God.
Beady, 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 beady. What the fuck, Buck?
I was about to say, can you say fuck Rogers? Can we say fuck Rogers? I think I just did.
I didn't know there was a pornographic Buck Rogers. Now, I have a copy of the pornographic Flash Gordon.
Oh, Flash Gordon. I'm sorry. That's right. Not Buck Rogers. I apologize.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. They
Flash
call it
Gordon.
Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon.
It's hilarious. It really is.
I've never seen it. I've heard of it for years, but
it's not hardcore. So you don't have the close-ups.
By today's standards, it's mild as fuck.
Yeah.
I saw a Seinfeld porn parody once.
No.
I guess we're having this conversation, huh? I've seen the Scooby-Doo one. I've seen the Married with Children version. I've seen a million Star Trek versions. They love Orions in porn. Paint them green or blue. And Avatar porn. And this was pre hentai. This was. Go ahead, son.
I've seen like almost every kind of parody porn.
Exactly.
Flintstones, Snow White.
I've seen the Snow White. Yeah.
And now with cartoons, they have parodies of everything. I won't talk to somebody if they don't have a healthy porn habit. I'm just putting that out there right now.
Hey, okay, this is the right crowd and the right topic to bring this up. Why does anybody think, including the chat, jump in here? Why do you think there is such a push politically and religiously to dial back sexuality to the 1930s?
Because we're digressing as a species. And it's an attack. Well, I watch this crazy woo-woo guy, but it's the same reciprocal cycle. First, they go after what they perceive people as homosexuals, and then it's morality, and then there's a script that people are reading from. This is the same old shit that happened, in the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s. It's just on steroids now.
Well, my take is that it's all about women. When we achieved control of our sexuality, it scared the highly religious guys, and
it scared the right-wing limp.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I
think it really all goes back to the thing about, that a woman is supposed to be a virgin when she's married, because guys don't have the self-confidence to deal with the idea that she may compare them to somebody who was better.
That's a perfect take on it.
Well, they don't have the confidence because it's not talked about, touched on in school. It's because it's verboten. They don't know a thing.
Yeah.
So, godless sewing here. If I'm not hitting it right, tap me and say, "Hey, buddy, to the left." I'm all willing for advice. I'm all like, that's just wrong if you think you're the end all be all to sex. And another thing I'll never understand, and this is a 1990s trope, but it's something that's come back. Why do the Republican Party or the conservatives in general want control over other people's bodies? Why?
I don't know.
They get a rush
Same
from
old
it?
argument. I'm tired of this argument, to tell you the honest truth.
Because it is the ultimate control if they can control who's allowed to have children.
Which comes back to fear. If you can control something, you can predict something.
True.
And you eliminate its potential to be a threat. It's all fear. Everything comes back to fear.
Yeah, but it's how's it a threat? How is somebody being gay and getting married a threat to anybody?
Because this person, this happens to me all the time. I will walk into a motherfucking room and someone's like, "I don't like that guy." What they really don't like is the fact that I'm okay with myself and I'm everything that they pretend to be. When you are happy with who you are, it's intimidating to people.
Plus people don't know where to stop with control. It might be necessary to control an area to protect us from wild predators, right? You go back far enough to the earliest cities or precursors to cities. You have communities that protect you from predators. So there's a little bit of a control of the environment that's necessary, and that's all driven by fear. But it doesn't stop. Then there's another lesser threat that needs to be dealt with. So we got to control that. Now that that's dealt with, there's this other thing that's kind of bugging us, and we better control that. And it just keeps going and keeps going. And the habit of being in control gives you that feeling of comfort that belays your fear. And when anything threatens that sensation of comfort, you start feeling the fear again, and then you think you have a threat happening where there's nothing that's threatening to you at all. All you're reacting to is perceived threats.
I tend to think it also goes along the pre-programmed thought process that Christians seem to have of the dating all the way back to Genesis, that if you eat this apple, which is the apple of wisdom, everything's going to fall apart. They want ignorance. Okay. Yeah. Don't teach about that sexuality, because then they'll want to do it. Well, yeah, maybe.
That's why
and they might do it right, and they might do it carefully and not have kids when they don't want to. Teach them something.
No, I naively asked that question, but I have a sniffy clue. Like Doc was saying, it's about fear and control.
Yeah, well, people who are self-confident are hard to control. If but when people, so that they're constantly in a state of anxiety and fear, then they're always looking for somebody to protect them.
And they're not contemplating the lie that you told them. Because let's remember, as far as I'm concerned, this is where we're coming from, like the religious base. Okay, so religion in general, I consider it kind of a fib. Sorry, guys, fight me over it. I don't care. So in order to maintain that lie, you have to beat people down. You have to tell them to go to church every Sunday. They have to genuflect and do these things. in order to maintain the control, or you wouldn't care, you know.
Mm-hmm. And that's a good point too. Again, the fear. When you're in a state of fear, you're all about survival. It's your survival instinct, and the brain actually secretes chemicals to shut down the higher functions of the brain. A fearful brain is not the sharpest brain. It is not your intellectual apex.
Right. Right.
So a fearful brain is definitely easier to control.
Sure. Yeah, I get it.
There's the old saying, when you're stupid, you're not thinking. So when you're mad, when you're flustered, you're not thinking at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So Jenny, you are absolutely right.
Well, I know that
these things are no threat to them at all. A person's sexuality is no threat to another person at all. It's all perceived threats.
Has anybody heard Posey Parker's latest that's showed up today?
What? Wait. Can I have that again?
Which one? Do you know which one?
The one where she's saying that she wants to hear firsthand accounts of any transgender people, and I think she included gay people, working at the NHS or in independent hospitals or in the police department. That she wants names. That it's time to expose these people.
Well, also, see, the UK, they have different laws than we do, and somebody was recently questioned and detained. They were detained, but it's in America, we get arrested. There's a difference between being detained and being arrested. Like, we get cuffed and stuffed, and you got to go to court. You're in jail the entire time. This person was detained for putting Posey Parker's stickers all over. I can't remember what town it is, but
I heard that.
Okay, so that's illegal. Guess what? If I right now get in my truck and drive 90 miles an hour, I'm gonna get a ticket because it's illegal, you know. So this woman broke the law and she got questioned, and they didn't arrest her, but then Posey Parker brought her mob down to that town and basically harassed people. Let's keep in mind.
Yeah, and the definition of the textbook definition of terrorism is not just the genocide of a people, but the intimidation of them. And everything she's doing is intimidation based. She is a terrorist.
I've been watching her for a while, and I won't say who, but I got this idea from a big mouth Australian, from her other Australian friend. But somebody I know wrote a letter, and they got, what's his name? Greg, not Greg Locke. Is it Greg? Who's the hate-filled preacher from Arizona?
Oh, geez. Fuck, I can't remember.
We've done a million, I've seen a million videos on him, but they basically got him banned from Australia, and it worked. Because
that's not Steven Anderson, is it?
Yes.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, Steven Anderson has been banned from like 36 countries now.
So they were like, hey, this guy preaches hate, and it worked. So she's planning to come to either New York or San Francisco. And if she comes to San Francisco, there will be a riot. California is not like the movies. We fight here. So I think we should not allow her in America. She is a terrorist. She last year, or during the pandemic, I can't remember when because I miscombobulate time. She called for armed men to police bathrooms for trans women.
I saw that one. Yes.
She's a piece of. She's lost her damn mind. And
so why don't we start one of those online petitions?
We need to. I don't want her coming to America because last time she went straight to Washington, D.C. and walked straight into the Heritage Foundation. And now she still maintains, I just had a meeting with them. You're funded by a right-wing racist organization, you know? So you can tell I don't like her at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Oh, she pisses me off. That turf I watch, the blonde hair lady who looks like Dolores Umbridge. Isaiah knows who she is because he'll walk in here and be like, "What the hell are you watching?"
Well, I'll try to play with some language and see if I can't get a good petition header written.
Careful. Please do. And yes, Mark Caesar, you are 1,000% correct. Yes.
Wait a minute.
On all your guesses, yes.
Put my pen away. I didn't want to do that.
And I'm not saying loudmouth. I'm just saying outspoken. And I don't care. Come at me. Godless Owen, my.
Is Black History Month not Pizza Day? Okay, I don't know. Does anyone have any Black History that's related to pizza?
Yeah, Godless Sewing. Go to the Godless Sewing channel. Godless Sewing, Godless Sewing. I am Black History. Go subscribe to my channel.
I don't know.
Okay,
Did
so
George
what-
Washington Carver invent pepperoni? I don't know.
Oh yeah, back to Posey Parker. Stay out of my country, and I never say that.
I think the petition header should not only say keep her out of the United States, but do not let her leave the UK.
That's what, like, honestly though, that's what's gonna happen because she's calling for all these awful things, and after a while, like, if at least in California, it's illegal to incite a riot. I can't walk into a building and scream fire if there's not a fire. There's certain things that I just can't do. And so she's trying to incite a riot. But you have to be physically in the state of California to get prosecuted by our laws.
It would be nice if that sort of thing worked in D.C., but oh well.
Hey,
howdy ho.
Hello.
Hey, honey, how you doing?
What were you gonna say, Doc?
On your involuntary vacation.
Voluntary vacation. That's one way to describe it. What were you saying, Doc, before I answer that?
Well, it's super stupid now, but I was just going to say, can you run into a crowded fire and yell theater?
That was terrible. See yourself out.
They'll probably just put you in the loony bin for that.
I can't see myself. I don't cast a reflection.
That is one thing about the state of California. We have a 5150 law where if you act insane, the authorities have the right to put you under psychiatric care for 72 hours.
They have that in Florida, too. They call it the Baker Act. Anyway, so regarding my involuntary vacation, as Diana so nicely put it. Oh, wait, did y'all know what happened?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think you
said
better
something
review because
about,
I'm sure not everyone does.
A drunk moron accosting you,
So,
right?
so story time. Okay, so at Holiday Inn, they had these. Try to light a cigarette because I need a cigarette for this fucking story. So at Holiday Inn, we had this military group, and two of them were always coming down to. Yeah, light, you bastard. Coming down to the fucking front desk drunk. Well, on Friday, this past Friday, one of them came behind the desk and tried to grope me. I reported it, and now I'm indefinitely suspended.
This
Is that fired? Is that fired?
Yeah.
Why are you suspended for him even being behind the desk?
Exactly.
Because they're idiots at Holiday. Fuck them. I already have 3 places lining up to hire me. I had an interview yesterday, and I have an interview in about an hour and 45 minutes. I'll be fine. I don't need them. I'm like, places, like, I broke down over it at first. Then me and Josh went down to our neighbor's room, smoked a joint, and then I had a drink. And Josh just looks at me and says, I don't know why you're even worried about this suspension. You're better than them anyway. And every time I see you start job hunting, places are lining up out the door to hire you. So fuck them. And I'm like, you know what? You're right.
That's crazy. I did not know that Little Caesars founder paid Rosa Parks' rent. Can't you sue them? Don't you have rights? I don't know about the laws in your state, but here, like, I would own them.
Wilfred, you forget who you're talking to here. I already know my rights, and you better believe my petty ass reported them to the EEOC, the State Civil Rights Division, and I filed for unemployment and was very honest about why I was suspended, and I reported them for wage theft because they're docking half an hour out of everybody's pay for breaks they aren't actually giving because I'm a petty bitch.
I would do the same thing. They're stealing from you. There has to be a certain transparency. Like in the end, we all end up getting ripped off, but like there has to be a certain transparency.
Well, they can have fun explaining to the Department of Labor why I was suspended after reporting somebody for sexual harassment. They can have fun with that.
I'll tell you, like, if I was on the Department of Labor, I would be like, "What's wrong with you guys? Get a lawyer."
They're gonna have to explain themselves. Now I've put prying eyes in their direction, so this is gonna be fun.
I'm from the land of people. They don't run and get a gun; they run and get a lawyer here in California. Everybody sues each other here. I've been sued.
Me running and getting a gun. Hey, Diana, would you trust me with a gun? Would you trust me with a gun?
Let me think about this.
Dude,
I don't think anybody up in here, except for Slimborg, who I don't think knows me from Adam, would trust me with a gun.
I don't trust any human with a gun.
I don't know you well enough.
But me in particular. I mean, for God's sake, here we go, Diana. Would you trust my mom with a gun?
Let me think about this.
You know what, though?
Okay.
My mom's a hothead.
My mom would not trust my mom with a gun. What does that tell you?
My mom's a total hothead. My mom's a total hothead, and she has one in her purse, and I feel sorry for the first time someone tries to road rage on her.
My mom would be like, I was considering getting a gun when I first left my ex-husband because my baby daddy suggested it. And I told my mom about it, and my mom flipped her. You should not get a gun. You can't be trusted with a gun because I can't be trusted with a gun. Somebody would knock on her door. Oh, we're not soliciting. Bang. Read the fucking mat, because instead of a welcome mat, my mom used to have a mat. I don't think she still has it. Not that I've ever abided by it. Her mat, instead of welcome, said go away. And she would tell people who knocked on the fucking door to read the mat. Did you read the mat? It's not a joke.
I got to figure out a way to get to your neighborhood. I really do. So I tell you,
Amtrak goes to Trenton. I'll pick you up.
There you go. Yeah.
My mom said you could sleep in my daughter's room.
Oh, okay. We could have one hell of a good time. The only thing I'd have to figure out is where I could be a pincushion.
Well, there's hospitals. UPenn, actually, in Princeton. They're a great system. And I don't say that often. Jefferson and UPenn are both fabulous. I go to Jefferson for my care, personally, but...
I'm sure it wouldn't be that hard to set up. You just need to make a few phone calls, find out the medical centers around there.
Yeah, it's just...
And who's the queen of making phone calls for medical shit? My mother.
Of course.
Well, I think the biggest question would be, which one is your insurance, going to be most likely to cover?
Yeah, and the other thing is, I don't know if I have to get hold of my nephrologist that she would write an order for it, or what the hell I would have to, or if they could just call my current place.
I'm sure it could be figured out. But yeah, you definitely need to get over here and hang out with the psychotic family of Side Strike, because we're all nuts in our own way, but most of us are nice people. Although I did just curse out my aunt the other day.
Okay then.
That's one heck of a disclaimer.
You're Aunt Victoria, right?
I'll be right out. I'm gonna get ready.
Oh, okay. And Josh opened the door because he wanted the end of the cigarette. We always split the Newport Hundreds.
Skiz, is that Skits Crasher? I don't have my glasses on. I should be wearing my glasses, but I'm totally pretentious and I do not wear them online.
I think I've seen you wear glasses exactly once.
Too many guns. Yeah, California. See, that is one of the lies that people say. Oh, those lefties there in California, Northern California, from like Sacramento up is the woods. It is Southern Oregon, basically. They have different laws, and they have tons of guns up there. Tons of guns.
It's way different. Yeah, it's way different than Southern California for sure.
I like both ways of life. Like, I lived in Northern Cali. I didn't have a problem. It's a little bit slower way of life, but so is anywhere where you don't live near a big city.
South Jersey is pretty Trumpy in its own way in some areas. I'm glad I didn't move to Pennsville, because you know what, the next door neighbors had Trump shit all over their lawn, and you know I would have set something on fire.
Oh, there's a big Trumper at the dialysis center. I have to look across the room at his damn MAGA hat.
Why, did you see another fucking buggy?
Red doggy.
Fuck you. We're not even in the car anymore. Instead of punching each other when we see fucking buggies or PT Cruisers, we just have a point system going. And unfortunately, Josh has been the undefeated champion for the last week and a half, but I'll get him.
Has anyone heard of the Padiddle game?
I played Padiddle. Last time I played Padiddle, I was 18. I was 18 and ended up butt naked in the back of some rando's car that I had just met.
Yeah, you played Padiddle.
We used to keep a checklist on the visor to see how long it took to get all the license plates from every state, you know, and see if you could get bonus points from Canadian provinces.
Oh yeah, Canada definitely deserves bonus points. I got a Hawaii license plate once in New Jersey, and I'm like, how the fuck did you get here?
I'll bet you anything they were military.
I had a competition with my ex-wife, and this was back in the Razor day, like the flip phone Razor day. And we would take pictures and send it to each other. I almost got shot in Texas over like an Idaho plate or something.
Why? Because somebody got mad that you were taking a picture of his plate?
I was in a Walmart parking lot in Texas. I put my life in my hand. We were chilling out. It's a lot. Texas is huge. If you don't know, like it took us a couple of days to.
Oh, I know Texas is huge. With Texas, like my mom actually told me though, she will not go to Texas if her life depends on it. She doesn't care if she has to go on a road trip. She will find a way to go around Texas rather than going through.
So I said that about Utah, but then I went and I had a good old time. I got pulled over a bunch, but like,
did you have fun with the Mormons?
Mormons party like everybody else, especially
repressed people. That's not what I heard.
Repressed people are the best. They have. Do you know how many Mormons there are?
Honestly, I would love to party with the Amish during Rumspringa.
I had the most fun at the events that I did in Salt Lake City, Utah. So I had so much fun with them, and I made so much extra tip money. Yeah, they love entertainment, and they're down to party.
My brother was stationed there in his Air Force days, and I would go down there, and they party hard in Salt Lake City.
Actually, it was an airman that tried to grope me, so yeah, they get pretty drunk.
You know what? This generation, though, like they do that because they heard the older generation does it. Same with the Navy. The Navy guys, they get drunk because they were told the other Navy guys drink, you know, so they become alcoholics for 4 or 5 years.
I actually had a relative get discharged from the fucking Navy for getting drunk and getting arrested. That was fun.
Skizcrasher. The solar eclipse is in 2024.
Solar eclipse?
It's in 2024. Okay.
April. Yeah, I'd like to try to see it. I saw the 2017 eclipse from Carbondale because I wanted to have the chance to see 2 eclipses from the same spot.
Awesome.
I think I saw the 2017 one too. I remember my aunt bringing home fucking eclipse glasses and being like, oh yeah, you know, we're gonna watch the eclipse. Make sure you have your eclipse glasses on. It's like, okay, how the fuck am I gonna wear eclipse glasses? I wear regular glasses. How am I gonna
I managed.
I'm not surprised you did.
So I used my welding goggles.
Because I'm unindoctrinated.
I think welding goggles are good for that.
So, Skizcratcher, are you saying you're going to Texas because it's out in the middle of nowhere? Because like I lived in Arizona, and in Arizona, man, you could see what part of the Milky Way we're standing at night, you know? Just drive out to the desert.
Arizona, another place I probably want to go.
I remember dark skies. Oh God, this is some of the most beautiful stuff I've ever seen.
That's one of the reasons I miss driving to Las Vegas, because there's Edwards Air Force Base basically separates us and Las Vegas. It's huge. Yeah. But if you go on the northern side, it's unincorporated land, so you can pull over And you know, if you have your wits about you, you could just stand there and find your place in the universe off the side of the highway, and it's just pitch black out there.
Yeah, I've got to work out. I want to get to the 2024 eclipse. I don't know if I'm going to be able to or not.
I want to go back out because during the COVID era, I have a reach out and touch somebody lens now, and I've been taking pictures. I've been taking pictures of the moon, but like we've all seen the effing moon. I have some really like I'm sure Diana you'll love them. I'm sure Jenny will love them, but no one cares, you know. Like, but when you get a good picture of a planet or something, people are like, "You did that with a Nikon camera." So I want to go back out. I want to go back out in the pitch black with my tripod.
You say reach out and touch somebody. What? You got one of those 1800 millimeter telephotos?
I do, but I have like low level version of it because I didn't order the name brand.
Okay, you went to Amazon, right?
Yeah, instead of spending 10 grand, I spent like a couple $100. It still works, you know?
Yeah.
But I have one that's half. I have one that's half the power of that, and it works better than the one I bought, though. So, you know, I could sit here for an hour and talk about all the crap I've bought on Amazon that it's like really hit or miss.
Yeah, I was looking forward to getting
Hi, Isaiah.
I was looking forward to getting an 1800 millimeter lens, and shit, now I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get there and see the damned eclipse. I could try to go up to Cleveland because Cleveland is in the path of totality, but I really wanted to go to freaking Southern Illinois. I really did.
So that's what it is. It's like the path. Like right now, every night I can see the space station because of where it's orbiting over the Earth.
Aren't they trying to crash it into the Pacific soon?
No, that was the Japanese. That was the Japanese or the Chinese space station.
I thought the International Space Station was going to get thrown into the Pacific soon. I don't know. I saw something on Facebook. Not that I believe everything I read on the internet. If I did, I'd be a whole ass idiot.
Yeah.
But
it's going to get decommissioned in a couple of years. But
what I read was it was supposed to be deorbited in something like 2034.
Hey, Jyuni.
Yep, that's what I heard too, Diana.
Okay. Am I wrong, or was it the Chinese space station that they were like, oops, it's falling back into the atmosphere? Oops, by the way.
I gotta look this thing up.
The worst thing you can hear in any STEM field, oops.
Well,
that was,
I don't know. Does anybody remember when Skylab came down?
Damn straight I do. That was cute.
What?
I don't remember that. Was it before my time? Was it before my time? I feel like it was before my time.
Yeah, what year was that?
It wasn't
that was, I think, 79.
Yep, way before my time. I don't think I was even conceived yet. Nope, I wasn't. I was 94.
More recent than that.
It was? Okay. I thought it was before my time.
Skylab?
Remember all the T-shirts? I survived Skylab.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to ask my mother about that.
Well, okay, I guess it was 79.
Yeah.
Somehow I thought it was a lot more recent than that.
I can now tell everyone's age because everyone who got quiet.
Yeah.
I know how old you are now.
I was 5.
I fucking tweeted on my birthday, oh boy, I'm 28, another year closer to the grave.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't think you were even 30 yet.
I'll be 30 in 2024.
Well, hurry up.
Skylab.
What do you expect me to do? Make time move faster? You know, I'm a bad bitch in the hotel industry, but I don't know nothing about no space time.
Yeah, Skylab they really hadn't figured out how they were going to bring it down, and they were kind of scrambling about that. And
I was wrong about the ISS. I guess it's going to be deorbited in 2031.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
do you want to bring a bunch of snacks or what?
When Skylab came down, they didn't have enough propellant or anything to really target it. So bits of it came down in Australia.
Yeah, well, they were trying to get the Skylab shuttle project going such that the shuttle could reboost the Skylab into a orbit that would hold it there for a while, but then the shuttle went late.
That's even when I think my uncle was even a kid when that happened. He was born 1967. Yeah, he was 12.
Yeah, I remember Jeff was 10 years
That's
younger
why
than
everybody calls it the baby brother. My aunt is exclusive to my baby brother. My mom, when
what year are you talking about?
1979.
Oh, year I started transition.
Okay, yeah, because Jeff was 10 years younger than I. Yeah.
Well, that's why I thought it was later than that, because I thought I was at least out of high school when it happened. But
I think my mom was in college around that time. Yeah, it had to be because she was. Yeah, it had to be around the time she would have started college. Boston U, I think.
Is your mom older than I am or younger?
My mom is 61. She'll be 62 in April.
Oh, so she's a bit younger yet. I'm going to see 65 in July. Okay.
Well, 2 more years and you'll be able to retire fully.
Yeah, if I live that long. We'll see.
I think you will. You're stronger than you think you are. I've been telling Josh the same thing because Josh finally kicked the heroin habit for good, and he's doing really well. And I've just been getting into the habit of telling everybody I know that they're stronger than they think, and I think you are too.
Yes.
You're not. You know what? If you were going to die, you would have been dead a long time ago. I think. I think honestly, you're probably gonna be chasing kids off your lawn with a cane when we're all in our graves.
I tell you, though, life is not fun as a pincushion.
Life isn't fun, period, anymore. But it's. I mean, I can only imagine how shitty it must be being a pincushion, though. I mean, I don't have to do that. I was kind of like a part-time pincushion when I was still on Warfriend, but I switched to Eliquis, and now I don't have to be anymore.
Yeah,
my blood work came back real good. I went to the hematologist a couple weeks ago. It all came back real good. I have to go back 6 months, actually. So.
Yeah, here's what you get as a pincushion.
Oh, my God. Who the heck? What the hell kind of phlebotomist you got there sticking you?
She was having a heck of a time, and that was, are you ready for this? That was 2 Saturdays ago.
Your veins must not be easy to find.
Oh my gosh!
I think there's a bit of a restriction somewhere on the fistula, and she may have hit a narrow part.
Oh, that's nice. Fistula, such a nice word. I just think of such wonderful, happy things when I hear the word fistula. And if you can't detect the sarcasm dripping from my voice, I'm concerned.
No, when I go shopping, I'll look for some long sleeve tops because they keep telling me, "Oh, everything's going to be fine. You'll toughen up and everything." And I have a feeling, no, I think I'm going to be looking like this.
Have you like iced it a little? Like, I mean, I know it's not a hickey, but I feel like a frozen spoon could help.
Well, I have to eat some stuff out of the freezer to make room to make ice.
You could just use a bag of frozen whatever. I've used frozen food as an ice pack before.
Frozen
We've all done it.
Make the best ice packs because they kind of conform to the wound.
Yeah, I agree.
But when you do that, I take a black Sharpie and I put big X's on every side of it, so you make sure that those aren't ones you try to eat later.
Why not? They're inside a bag, sealed.
Yeah.
Well, after they've thawed and refrozen a couple of times, they're not.
They go bad.
Well, put them back in the freezer before they thaw. Have a bag of corn too. Trade off.
Oh yeah, frozen corn. That should be good.
If you're using it for an ice pack, the heat from your body is going to thaw sections of it every time you use it. Is the point?
Yeah, and then they get kind of mushy after a while. That's what I want. I want frozen peas. Where's my pen? Where'd I put my pen?
Up your ass and around the corner?
I think so.
Oh, I had to do young Mr. Sewing's hair. We're so rusty because he's homeschooled. It's been almost 2 years since he's been on campus. So every time we have to go for testing or something, it's like we're so rusty.
Is he going to even know the place when he gets back?
he won't go back to a physical campus until high school, and that's not another year and a half, 2 years from now, because he's in 7th grade, and his mom doesn't want him to go to junior high on campus.
Okay, I wouldn't want to go to any school on campus, honestly, because you know what? New Jersey's actually lifting the mask mandate for schools, and it's making me really, really think about whether I want my little spawn in preschool.
The problem is like they did a social experiment here because I live in a Republican town. They were like, oh, send your unvaccinated kids to school and everything. They ended up infecting half my town because the kids went home and spread it to their parents.
Yeah.
Well,
I actually just got over COVID a few weeks ago.
Their big claim for it was that children don't get COVID. And they were basing that on the fact that, when we kept the kids locked up inside for a year and they didn't go to school and they didn't go to the playgrounds, they didn't have a chance to get it.
My daughter got COVID recently because my aunt got it and she was having mostly GI symptoms, and some incompetent urgent care diagnosed her as having a stomach bug. Well, even though she's vaccinated, she was like, you know what? This is not a regular stomach bug, because my aunt has GI problems out the ass, as do I. It runs in the family. She's like, you know what? Let me just get tested and make sure. I think I'm going to play it smart here. Because, I mean, I don't come from a family of idiots on my mother's side. And what do you know? She tested positive. And my mom she was positive and then negative, and we're like, okay, let's just assume that my daughter has it. Apparently she was fine though. I think she has my immune system. She had a low fever for half a day, asked my aunt for Tylenol once. Other than that, she was fine. I might actually be seeing her later today after my interview.
I don't think there's a way to detect who's strong and who's not strong. Like, because I've known people that have worse asthma than me that survived. I've known people that have passed away that have the same asthma as I do, you know.
I just go by the fact I had mono my sophomore year of high school. Now, most people are like sick as a dog for weeks. I was in bed for a couple of days, back in school within a week. The only thing my mom enforced the 6 weeks on, I think she kept me out of gym class because of the enlarging of my spleen. Other than that, I was fine. So I just go by the fact that, you know, there are things that should be taking people out that somehow didn't take me out. Should I not have been dead from a golf ball sized blood clot in my lung?
Well, the COVID messed me up for a month.
Oh, yeah. How are you holding up?
Ago, but I'm still having a lot of after effects from it. You know,
man, don't tell me you got the long COVID.
One flight of stairs, I feel exhausted.
Sounds like what they call the long COVID. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. I'm nauseous half the time, you know, a couple hours every day.
Ginger ale and crackers. Ginger ale and crackers is good.
That's my life.
I get nauseous out of nowhere sometimes. That happens to me a lot. Yeah, I even had COVID. I got it at Holiday. I feel a lot more, you know, I don't give a shit anymore, so I'm just going to fucking gladly blast it out there. They had a fucking COVID outbreak at my job and did next to nothing about it. And what do you know? I ended up bringing home COVID. Josh got fucking COVID. Even though I'm boosted, Josh can't get boosted till March. But, you know, he's otherwise fully vaccinated. We got it. He got it worse than I did because his immune system's a little different than mine. Even the shots took him out. But, you know, it's like, really? And they want to send kids to school maskless or unvaccinated. Yeah. I'm sorry, but that's not, you know.
That's a bunch of bullshit.
Well, I was just relieved that Sloth Girl managed to get her booster like a week before we got exposed.
Oh, good.
Normally like a flu that I'm over in like 4 days can keep her down for a month.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning once, at least once, that her
she has MS.
Are not great.
Yeah, she has MS, so her immune system is always weak.
Oh my god. Oh,
well,
man,
it actually isn't the MS. It's actually the medication for the MS suppresses her immune system.
Yeah, but if she didn't have the MS, she wouldn't have to take that. So it all roots back to the MS. Fuck MS. My parents actually lost a very good friend to MS a few years ago. They had actually just moved back to our area right before she died. Her and her husband. My parents used to play pool with them, and I remember it was really funny how I found out they moved back. I found out before my parents did because I'm chilling, waiting for my uncle to get done with his karate class, and I see this woman's husband, my mom's friend Carlos, walk by. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? And I see him go into what was at that point a Blockbuster, which dates how old this was.
Yikes.
So I'm like, you know what? Let me just see here. So I went and I fucking ran my happy ass over to Blockbuster. And I find him in the video game section. I'm like, oh yeah, what are you thinking of getting? Well, and I struck up a conversation. I'm like, do you even remember me? He was like, oh, wait a minute. You're Jeanette and Kevin's daughter, right? Yeah, that's me. You want me to call my mom? I want so you can say hi? Oh yeah, of course. So I call my mom. Hey mom, I'm at Blockbuster right now. Guess who's with me? And my mom's like, wait a minute, who? I'm like, oh, well, I'm here with Carlos. And of course, oh my God, Carlos is here. So my parents got to see their friend before she died because they all started hanging out again. But yeah, MS is a bitch. I mean, this poor woman, she couldn't even like remember basic facts by the time the end came.
Some of the greatest Friday nights of my life were spent at Blockbuster videos.
Oh man, I one of the few decent memories I have of my father is going to Blockbuster on the weekends, and you know he'd let me pick a movie and a video game.
When they closed the one in my town, I was so nostalgic. I literally bought the racks.
I bought a one left in Oregon or something, or did that finally close?
No, there is one left in Oregon that apparently they're just keeping open for some reason about protecting their trademark.
Yeah.
I think also it's a tourist attraction. You know, people go.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a tourism factor there.
They'll go buy the T-shirt that says, you know, I went to the last Blockbuster that ever existed.
Oh my God, they have merch for it. I love
they do.
that.
Now,
I love it, but not really.
When
I love that.
Besides Blockbuster, we had a really good independent video store, which I liked a lot better because, you know, while Blockbuster would have like 6 shelves of the latest release, you couldn't find much of anything else there.
True.
So the independent one, you found a lot more interesting things that, you know, weren't always like the #1 hits.
Right now in my hometown, we still have a video store owned by the same woman that owned it when I was a kid.
Dang.
Talk about tenacity. Got to keep that going.
Well, she's smart. She's a Notary Republic. She has P.O. boxes. She utilized her space.
You know, it's Notary Public, right? Not Notary Republic.
Have you ever heard my English? So anyway, I walked by one day and I was shocked. She remembered my name and my last name. And she was like, why don't you come by and get videos? I'm like, it's 2022. That's why. But I went and bought a bunch of anime VHS off of her, like rare stuff from the 90s, because she's selling all her videos, you know, because no one rents VHSs. Jenny, do you rent VHSs?
Nope, never have, never will.
Does anybody have a VHS machine anymore?
I do. I have one right here.
I feel like my mom might have one in her basement. I feel like she probably has one. It's like I could ask her, but I'm already planning on annoying her after my interview. I think that'll be enough of me for one day.
I can't see it.
Oh, I'm fairly sure I still have one buried in the storage locker, but
there used to be there actually used to be in where I was living before the COVID times in Ewing. There used to be a Hollywood Video right next to the Rita's. That was another popular video store.
I remember Hollywood Video. Yep.
And the Hollywood Video, I remember they used to have Playboy Bunny, whatever you call it, dividers in front of the porn.
Okay.
I don't remember Hollywood Video having porn.
Not here either, but I live in like teetotaler side of Los Angeles. I live on the west side, so
West side.
You can get that on the east side.
Hi, Sylvia.
She's not too happy about the cuddle kitty.
Yeah, that looks kind of painful.
Oh, Sylvia. Oh my God. Yesterday I went over to my mom, and of course, you know, when you go into my mother's house, you must pet Smudge, or you know, you get bitched at. And you know, so I'm petting Smudge while I'm talking to my mom, and then I stopped because I was about to leave, and then he gives me this dirty ass look, and he just, meow. I'm like, who do you think you're bitching at? Fine, come here. And I pet him some more. and nobody batted an eye. That's when you have a cat, the cat is king or queen shit.
Yes, absolutely.
When I lived in Burlington with my aunt and her then boyfriend, the house revolved around the cats. Oh my God, it's 6 o'clock. We got to get home. The cats are going to kill us because their dinner time was 6 o'clock. And we get in after 6 o'clock, and the looks we would get. Where have you been?
Every time I hear Burlington, I think of Burlington Coat Factory. Every time.
It's not Burlington Coat Factory anymore. It's just Burlington.
Yep.
There's actually one up the street from me now where I live. Maybe when I get my taxes, I'll go there and invest in some decent work clothes. Because the interview I had yesterday is what I'm hoping for the most. It's at an extended stay America, and they're starting supervisors, which I interviewed for, at $18 an hour, which is more than I was making at Holiday. So I'll take it. If they hire me and I don't have to wear a uniform as a supervisor, so just business casual, and I could go for some decent clothes. I need to treat myself anyway. I'm getting back about $2,600, and after I order my new rim and I'm going to replace all 4 of my tires, I'm good. As long as I find another job, because I still got to pay rent.
Rule of acquisition number 40. Never let the competition know what you're thinking. Rule of acquisition number 41. Ask what your profits can do for you, but what you can do for your profits. Never forget the Ferengi way of life.
That doesn't sound like way of life.
The rules of acquisition are what I live by.
You know what I live by? You're muted, honey. Person to my left, you're muted.
Hey.
No, the rule of life I live by is simple. Shit happens. Figure out a way to flush the toilet.
Rule of acquisition number 18. Never make fun of a Ferengi's mother. Insult something he cares about instead.
My favorites are war is good for business and peace is good for business.
That's my favorite. That is absolutely my favorite.
Those are 2.
Oh no, we lost Jenny.
No.
She'll be back.
But
She'll be back.
Okay, Diana Schwarzenegger.
So I used to get a lot of robocalls on my job, and I would stupidly pick up. So if they talk to me, I would just start reading the rules of acquisition and see how long they last.
That's not how you deal with spam calls. When you get those kinds of calls, you pick up the phone and say, "Michael Jackson's Daycare, we like him young and hung," and then they never call again.
I watch a lot of weird stuff on YouTube, and I have JBLs hooked up to one of my computers. So if I'm bumping and they call, they'll probably end up watching Passions or whatever I'm watching. They will end up watching it with me until they hang up.
One time, somebody got a scam call or other, and we put on this whole elaborate act where somebody was trying to get their demented grandmother to put the gun down. Somebody played a loud gunshot. Oh my God, Grandma! And we hung up the phone. It was beautiful.
I've said this a million times, but I was sitting here one day and I got a call in Spanish that said I was in a Mexican prison and that I better pay up right now or they're gonna torture me. And I was like, go ahead and do it. I don't like that guy anyways.
Oh, that's awesome.
But like I had that moment of crisis, like, am I really in a Guadalajaran prison? I've been there before, but no, they called
Wait a minute, you've been to a Guadalajara prison? Hang on, what's the story there?
No, but I've been all the way down to Guatemala.
Well,
in a car.
Damn it. Here I was thinking there was a good story here, and you just dashed my hopes. Thank you, Will.
No, there is a good story.
Thank you so much for dashing my day.
No, there is a good story. I just don't want to tell it. What happens in Guadalajara stays in Guadalajara.
Except for herpes. That chick comes back with you. After my interview, I got to watch the next. Josh has started to kind of cheer me up from my suspension. We started a Harry Potter marathon, 1 Harry Potter movie every day until we've seen all 8. Yesterday we cheated and watched 2, Prisoner of Azkaban and Goblet of Fire. So today's Order of the Phoenix.
Moo.
Yeah, it's the little things in life. And now that I don't have to, worry as much financially, you know what? Let me just take a minute to relax.
Yeah, I kind of felt the whole Harry Potter series went sharply downhill after Order of the Phoenix.
I mean, it did and it didn't in a sense. But yeah,
what Slim got there.
I'm of that age where I was like.
Let me see that.
I was old when
it kind of looks like my ex-husband.
Looks like one of the ones
it actually looks more like his girlfriend.
Looks like one of the ones from Disney's Hunchback.
Oh, that's awesome.
That looks like my mother without coffee.
That's me when I
I'm telling.
Go ahead.
So, question. The pose...
Okay, and that one looks like my stepdad.
So, question. The gargoyle with the pose with his hands on his cheeks. Is that from Hear No Evil, See No Evil, Speak No Evil, Don't Let Evil Pinch Your Cheeks?
No, it's a
I know
it's a goatsy gargoyle.
Yeah, I know.
It is not a gargoyle. It is a grotesque.
Well, have you heard of goatsy? Whatever it is, it must clearly be. It must be invoking goatsy.cz. Don't look that up if you value your sanity.
The definition of a gargoyle is literally a water spout. If it does not have water coming out of it, it is not a gargoyle.
Really? Well, I learn something new every time I randomly pop in on one of your streams. Thanks a lot, Purple.
Does that mean my lion head is a gargoyle? Because I have a lion head fountain.
Yeah.
If it has water coming out of it, it's a gargoyle. If it doesn't have water coming out of it, if it's solid, then it's just a grotesque.
Yeah. Also,
but wouldn't it need to be actually like butt ass ugly in order to be grotesque?
What's that, Doc?
No, because grotesque, it's actually from Latin, but it's actually an architectural word for, it's just a word for an architectural adornment.
Every time somebody talks about what language something originates from, I keep thinking of My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I think that means I need to watch that movie again.
I love that movie.
It's one of the best movies ever. I don't care what anybody says. I think I made Josh watch it with me once, but the highlight of our relationship was when I made him watch Blazing Saddles. I got him into it because he appreciates politically incorrect humor. I was like, oh yeah, it's full of, fucked up jokes. And I'm not going to say exactly what I said. And he was like, oh, okay, I'll totally watch it. And then we're watching it, and, they get into it gets a little further into the movie. And he's like, you could have just told me Gene Wilder was in it. That would have been enough to sell me. Oh, okay. Well, now I know. Next, we're watching Young Frankenstein. Gene Wilder's in it. And that took a little bit of hassle, but because he doesn't like black and white usually, but he liked Young Frankenstein.
I love black and white movies. I just watched that the other night.
Have you seen History of the World Part 1?
Of course I have.
I got Josh to watch it, and after the movie, he looks at me and goes, my God, I've never heard so many dick jokes in a single movie. It's funny watching him evolve from, he was in a real dark place in the worst of his addiction. And, now that he's like actually clean other than like weed, but nobody cares about weed. I mean, half of the people in this stream, I feel like are potheads, or at least don't care about weed. And
I could afford it.
I mean, Will, for God's sake, how many times have you smoked on stream?
If I could do it legally, I'd be looking for a stream that would make me sleep.
It's legal here, so I smoke it like it's legal.
It's legal here. We're in New Jersey now. It's a legal state. So Josh gets paid in weed to walk the neighbor's dog. But yeah,
do you guys have dispensaries though?
We do, but I mean, they're starting to pop up a little more, but they're still kind of ironing out the details of recreational sales. So mostly what you find in like convenience stores is CBD. I know there is a dispensary in Lawrenceville, which isn't far from me because I live in Robbinsville, but we have yet to go into a dispensary. Josh wants to go one day just to price check and decide, okay, do I want to start buying legitimately, or should I just keep copying off the neighbors? But
we can get stuff here with CBD. You just can't get anything with the THC.
Oh yeah, CBD is
and the
perfectly
CBD doesn't really have to. It doesn't seem to have much effect on me. I had some of the CBD gummies, and it's like they didn't. I got a light buzz, but nothing better than what I would get off of 3 shots of whiskey.
See, I thought CBD didn't get you high though. It's not. It doesn't.
It depends on the CBD percentage in whatever, whether it be edible, flower, whatever. But yeah, it's been so funny, watching, as he, gets used to being clean from the heroin. Yeah. Josh is kind of turning into like more. He's a lot more human than he was. He's like experiencing joy in the little things in life again now, and it's like, wow, I love that for you. You're really enjoying. Like, he wouldn't have thought, oh, let's do a Harry Potter. He wouldn't have had the attention span for a week-long Harry Potter binge. And it was his idea, like just these little things that he's enjoying. And we were watching Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium. Oh, I forgot how good this movie is. And it's a really eye-opening, in all the right ways, process. Seeing an addict get clean and start to realize how much joy there can be in life again. Not that there's much, but what's there.
I'm gonna take off because I got to go drop off the kid. If you guys are still around in like a half an hour, 45, I'll jump back in.
I'm going to be going shopping later. I got to pick up some chemicals.
All right.
Yeah, quite honestly, I don't know how long I can keep going because I'm having the nausea coming on again.
I'm going to get going because I got some stuff.
I'm going to jump off, and as always, thank you for letting me be on your stream, Purple. I'll be around tomorrow night. And reinforce your seams.
Yeah.
Later, brother. Yeah.
See you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
I will.
See you, Will.
Yeah, well, I had complained to my clinic about the nausea being so regular, and they just gave me that standard list of shit like that. And it's like, okay, ginger ale and Gatorade. Well, that and iced tea is about the only thing you'll ever find in my fridge anyway. So. Already there.
But for the sustenance, crackers can be. You get the saltines, just the plain saltines. Don't put nothing on it. My entire first trimester, I walked around with a 2-liter ginger ale and a sleeve of saltines.
Yeah, well, for me, it's been just going through white rice, but.
Perp.
Perp.
If I could get a word in edgewise.
No.
Of course, Jenny.
I gotta take off. I got some stuff to do.
Oh, okay.
Have fun.
Jenny.
You be good, okay?
And she's gone. It's okay though. We love her anyway. Yeah, that's about the only help I can be with the nausea. I'm assuming anti-nausea medication isn't something that's an option for you, like Zofran.
Well, they're not giving me anything like that, and
Why the hell not? They had no problem giving it to me when I had bacterial colitis. That was a fun time. Not really.
Well, at this point, they're saying that if it persists, I should come into the clinic for another checkup, and I suppose maybe at that point they might do something like that. But
you are at least, staying hydrated where you can, at least trying to maintain your electrolyte balance.
Well, yeah, like you said, going through a lot of the Gatorade and water.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem of the getting dehydrated or anything like that. It's just a matter of that I start feeling hungry, and by the time I've actually made something to eat, I feel like I'm going to throw up.
Oh yeah, that's rough.
Nausea sucks.
Yeah, it does. I get, like, if I don't eat enough, I get nauseous as shit when I'm hungry, and I'm like, okay. Then I have to settle my stomach with little sips of water before I can eat anything.
Well, that's like, starting off the stream here, I was feeling I need to eat something. It's just, I just had a couple slices of toast, and now I'm feeling like that was a mistake.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah,
I
that's
hate it when that happens.
I go through that too. I get like hungry, then nauseous, and then I go through a lot of fun stuff like that, and I don't know why it happens to me. They don't know why either.
Well, I'm assuming that this is still after effects of the COVID and hoping that it'll pass eventually.
Yeah,
hopefully it does, because I would hate to have to live. My mom lives like that a lot with her Crohn's disease.
Well, my diet already had enough hassles because I don't have any teeth anymore, so that has a big impact on what I can eat.
No teeth, Dang.
You're eating cheese and drinking milk? Do you think you have enough dairy?
I'm eating cereal.
I'm watching you eat a slice of cheese.
I'm about to fucking fart on you, Cat. Shut up. I'll eat what I want.
I'm just saying, don't you think you're taking in enough milk?
Do you want to get farted on?
I have a feeling that's going to happen anyway.
Probably.
Men, can't live with them. If you shoot them, you go to prison.
Uh-huh.
Sylvia,
Yeah.
you're going to make your mommy sneeze.
Only if
I've
you get
so
caught.
had it with men, I've refused to stop pretending to be one.
There you go.
Yeah. You know what, Purple? I love that. That's actually, you know what? I feel like that would be the best thing. If some idiot tries to question a trans person about why are you transitioning, like, especially late in life?
Somebody else's business.
Well, there's that too, but it's like, yeah, well, I got so sick of that. That would be hilarious. I could see my mom laughing her ass off at that. I'm totally telling her you said that just to make her laugh, because Lord knows she needs the de-stressing.
You're trans. It doesn't affect me. I don't care.
That's it. The Roomba unplugs the mic. Oh my god.
It happens.
Yeah, my aunt has a Roomba, but every time my aunt turns the Roomba on when Josh and I are there, it just follows him around. Roombas are stupid.
Dude, we're not crazy either. Cat has seen it happen.
Yeah, I have.
I saw somebody had a Roomba, but they couldn't figure out why it never finished the room. And apparently it turned out that every time it got up against the little springy doorstop, that was managing to hit the button and shut it off.
Oops.
So it's like it would get to the front door and it would shut down and it wouldn't finish the rest of the room.
Oh my, it's 11 degrees today. That's toasty.
Now, what have we got here?
Is that Fahrenheit or Celsius?
It's centigrade.
It's about 11 degrees here too, but in freedom degrees it's 41.
It's freedom degrees.
No, it's I kind of like this because like I have to go out today, and I hate being out in the cold. A couple of years of being homeless will do it for you, not liking winter.
Oh
yeah, relatable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
There's been a bit of a heat wave here, and I have a guilty pleasure in it because I know it's not supposed to be this warm right now, but I am kind of liking it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can find a little, you got to take whatever little joy you can in life and just hold on to it. And yeah, it's not supposed to be this warm in February, but there's nothing wrong with enjoying a break from the cold here and there.
Yeah, hey, we may actually get up to the freezing point today, it looks like.
Oh,
We're
wow.
up to 29 degrees already.
Freezing point of nitrogen, right?
Yeah, we'll get up to that.
Freezing point of alcohol. That says a lot about how much I've needed to drink lately. At least, one of the benefits of not working at Holiday Inn anymore, at least I had somebody come to the desk naked recently.
I remember you posting about that.
Yeah, I always have something on Facebook today on things you don't normally say at work. There was the no, you may not fly a drone in the lobby incident. There was the do I want to know how the hell you ended up with a beer tower incident, which was the same night. There was also the how the fuck did you get a random pack of cheese in your shirt incident, which was also the same night. This motherfucker's running around. One of the ones that was harassing me, actually. He had a pack of cheese in his shirt. I'm like, Mr. Ellis, can I ask why you have a random pack of pepper jack in your shirt?
I would assume a pack of cheese in their shirt meant that they'd been shoplifting.
Oh yeah, they had been, and they bragged about it because they were stupid drunks. And then it was, so can we fly the drone in the lobby? No, go to your fucking rooms, you asshole. Then there, oh yeah, they were also trying to build a race course for their RC cars. Josh just reminded me that same night. But yeah, a few weeks ago, I'm at the desk minding my business, and one of the military guys comes down to the desk with his friend, and his friend's like, yeah, he needs a key for his room. He's locked out of his room. I'm like, oh, no problem. Oh, wait a minute, are you naked? And yeah, he was naked. And I'm like, do I want to know how this happened?
Yeah, why did you walk out of your room naked?
Yeah, this is what
you get locked out of your room naked?
Well, yeah, I understand how you got locked out, because if you're naked, you don't have a pocket for the keys. That's obvious.
You got one flesh pocket.
Oh my God, Josh! Nobody's gonna put keys in their butt crack.
Everything getting locked out.
Oh my, this is cool. I just saw this.
I could fit a key between mine.
Josh, a key is not the only thing you'd fit in your butt cheeks.
Only for Mike.
Well, we could see if we could fit my foot up there if you don't shut up.
Yeah. Wait a minute. What do you mean nobody's gonna put their key in their butt crack? Have you ever been to Iowa?
Iowa? Oh God! You know, we still need to swap stories one day, Doc. We need to have a stream, just me and you, just swapping hotel horror stories. Shit, Mike's not doing shooting the shit anymore. Why don't we do it tonight?
Yeah, unfortunately, my stories are like so mild compared to yours.
Yeah, a lot of people's stories are mild compared to mine. All I have to do is go through the Quality Inn fucking chronicles, and people's heads are spinning. I mean, I've had people's jaws on the ground. Actually, the other day I was at the bar with my mom because my mom needed a ride home, and in exchange for me borrowing her air compressor before my new one arrived, I agreed to be her ride home. So I get to the bar, and her boss was there, real nice lady, and I ended up telling her boss a bunch of hotel horror stories. And this poor woman, her jaw was on the bar by the time I was like I told her the dildo lady incident. And then my mom goes, "Tell her about the U.S. Marshals." I told her about the U.S. Marshals. I think I told the murder attempt story.
Okay, Hotel Horror Stories is clearly another channel trying to do a knockoff of our Night Auditor series already.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, I mean, where do I sign up for that? Actually, the job I'm interviewing for in a little less than an hour is a Night Auditor position. It's actually right in my hometown, which has my mom all excited. Oh, finally, you're going to get a job closer. Like, okay, well, maybe if I land this job, but we'll have to see what they offer in terms of pay. Now, they're starting at $15 an hour, and I can survive on $15 an hour. That's what I made the last two jobs I had. So I know I can make it. But if I could get offered a little more, I've got the experience.
You can actually make rent in New Jersey for $15 an hour?
Well, where I live now, I pay $11.40 a month.
That's high.
Well, it's New Jersey. For New Jersey, it's low.
Where in New Jersey, though?
Central.
Butt fuck nowhere, New Jersey.
It is not butt fuck nowhere. That's the fucking Pine Barrens. Not near the Pine Barrens. I used to live near there. Actually, it's cheaper in South Jersey than Central. I lived in South Jersey most of my adult life.
I thought nowhere in New Jersey was just kind of redundant, actually, but
no, New Jersey has it's actually not as simple as North and South. It's also not as simple as North, South, and Central, which does exist. But there's North, South, Central, but South and North actually have, subdivisions of their own. In North Jersey's pretty straightforward. There's the half of North Jersey that's like Alabama, where the neighbors have goats for pets. I don't think anybody's fucking their sisters, though. And
I don't know anything about Jersey because I'm from the good
Go over to Pennsylvania for that one.
Okay, I lived in upstate New York, and my understanding was that New Jersey was just like a park and ride lot to take the train into New York City.
No, New Jersey is not that simple. Anyway, before I was so rudely interrupted by my wonderful boyfriend, who I'm going to kill, eventually, but well, maybe not. So there's Northwest New Jersey, which is like Morris County, Warren County, Sussex County.
Yeah, huh?
You know, that's
my most recent ex is from Warren County.
Well, it's not terrible in that part. You know, it's real rural, a lot of farmland. There's Hot Dog Johnny's in Buttsville, and yes, that's a real town. And the food is delicious, and so is the birch beer. And I'm a sucker for birch beer.
I love birch beer.
Birch beer is great, especially in frozen mugs.
I'm not sure if I've had birch beer. It's certainly something to try.
You've never had birch beer? You need to try birch beer. Birch beer's best.
It's the Pennsylvania Dutch Red version.
Yeah.
Yes, Pennsylvania Dutch is the best brand.
I like a good ginger beer, and people don't understand the difference between ginger ale and ginger beer.
No, you know what? Actually, Barks makes a birch beer now. It's hard to find, but it does exist. But
I miss Stewart's spicy ginger ale.
Well, then there's
that was one of the good ones. And
but then there's Northeast New Jersey, which is the part of New Jersey that thinks they're part of New York. Then you go down. Central Jersey is a nice amalgamation. I like it here. I don't like the high cost of living, but it's not that. It's not terribly urban, and it's not terribly rural either. It depends where you go. But then South Jersey, you get Camden and Burlington counties that think they're part of Philadelphia. You've got Atlantic County, which is, hookers, AC, and drugs. And Cape May County, which is where all the old people go. But you've also got Bill
builds a better New Jersey with blackjack and hookers. Oh wait, they've already got that.
You've got Cumberland, Gloucester, and Salem counties, which I call South Jersey Bama, because that's where it's real rednecky, real Trumpy, and that's the farther south areas. The Jersey Shore area, no, it's not. Ox, shut up! You just shut up with your uninformed self. That is not New Jersey in a nutshell. Most of those people are not even from New Jersey. Anyway, the Jersey Shore area, though, that's really its own region, and that's real touristy. A lot of, you get people that think, oh, they're from Jersey Shore. It's so cool. Like, no, it's not like that. And Seaside Heights is not an entire representation of New Jersey Shore.
Yeah, but I've been to Jersey Shore, Pennsylvania. There's nothing cool about it. It's a town along the Susquehanna.
Like,
just a normal Pennsylvania small town.
Are you saying that reality TV has given us some inaccurate information?
Oh my God, I'd never imagine saying that.
No way.
It's reality TV, man.
So the Jersey Shore, I like it. I just love the beach. So I like Point Pleasant. They've got this cute little aquarium there. I don't mind Seaside for the boardwalk. I'm coming, you pain in my ass. I like Island Beach. LBI isn't bad. I like LBI, but yeah, the shore area in and of itself is actually it's pretty nice. Okay, yeah, it's pretty nice there. Oh, I gotta fill my tire before I leave for my interview. But yeah, it's not bad. It really, New Jersey is. The part of New Jersey you end up in is probably where you're going to get your impression of it. So if you want a good idea of what New Jersey really is, go to Central Jersey, or if you like Italians, go to Hamilton. That's South Jersey. And the diner food is something else. Yeah, it's a long-winded explanation, but I've never been one to under-explain.
I think that's the first time I've had anybody give a complete county by county breakdown of the state, but
it's like you gotta really break it down, because New Jersey is not just the armpit of America, and we resent that remark when people say that. No, Jersey Shore is not what New Jersey really is. Jersey Shore is a bunch of New Yorkers being tourists. We call them Benny.
Hold on. I would like to issue a correction. Jersey Shore is actually a small town in Pennsylvania along the Susquehanna, not far from Williamsport.
Fucking Jersey Shore.
Although, as a native of Pennsylvania, I think I speak for all the Mid-Atlantic state residents that say, no matter how bad our state can be, we're all glad we're not New Jersey. For whatever reason.
Well, have you ever even lived in New Jersey, darling?
Listen, I'm not saying
it's New Jersey. Can anyone ever say they actually live there?
I can.
I'm not saying it's justified, but for some reason, if the Mid-Atlantic states were to take a vote and kick one of them off the island, we all know which ones it's going to be.
Yeah, Delaware. Lawless wasteland.
Delaware was never supposed to be an independent state.
What are you talking about? It was the first state to ratify the Constitution. How is it not supposed to be a state? I'd love to hear the explanation here.
It started out as a county of Pennsylvania. I don't understand how it became a separate state.
Well, perhaps we should look into the history of that one of these days. That'd be fun. The history of Delaware, the lawless, taxless wasteland. That's where my ex-husband ended up at one point, and my dad went there a few times. I remember my mom being like, "Oh, Delaware, where all the scumbags go." Holiday Inn, no, that doesn't count. It doesn't count. You have to actually spend an extended period of time in New Jersey to understand why it's really not that bad. And Holiday Inn Express, I wouldn't stay at a Holiday Inn anyway. Granted, I'm biased, but if you want to stay at a good hotel, honestly, Hilton treated me the best out of the 3 parent companies I've worked for. Now, extended stay, I don't know what their parent company is, but I'm interviewing at a Hampton today, and that's Hilton again, and I would love to go back to Hilton. That would be great. I can get my employee discounts again, and it's Hilton all around is a much better environment. They're certainly not committing wage theft or illegally suspending people for reporting someone trying to grope them.
Jyuni the Apostate. What is the acting over to here to happening to? Oh, kitty and pizza.
It's the kittiness. Hello, your kittiness. Sucks I'm not at my mom's while I'm here. I'd get smudge on the camera. I would totally get smudge on the camera.
Sorry, I have to turn it off.
And I'd probably force my mom to say hi to everyone too if I was there. Which I will be after my interview.
I keep saying one of these days we have to do a stream that instead of our avatars, we all just put our cats on there and see how long it takes the side chat to figure out who is who.
There you go.
Then we'd have to hide our display names or change them all. I'd have to change mine to Smudge. I feel like my mom would be cool with that.
It's easy to change the names in Streamlab. Or in StreamYard. Yeah.
And Smudge would probably sit there and behave as long as somebody was petting him.
I guess we would all need to have voice filters, though, so we don't give it away too quick.
Or we could just mute our mics.
I'll use my own voice filter.
Das kommt in Spanish for.
I don't see Sylvia sitting and behaving on a stream, though. Sorry, Diana.
Oh, I know already. I know better than to think she'd behave.
Yeah, Sylvia. Does Sylvia ever behave for more than a minute?
When she's asleep.
That doesn't count.
At least she's not climbing the curtains anymore.
Oh my god.
You should see my living room curtains. Oh my word.
Oh man, I can only imagine. Oh god, you had to see what we went through with Lily. Oh my god, I've told you all the Lily horror stories.
Okay then.
Yeah, Lily I've had cats that did that.
Lily who jumped on the flaming burner while my mom was cooking. I come down the stairs and I see the cat go flying and my mom is screaming, "The cat is retarded!" All right, Mom. And I'm like, all right, Mom, we established that the cat's a fucking grade A numbskull, but what did she do now? And my mom was telling me what happened. I'm like, oh my god. I used to entertain when I worked at ShopRite. I used to entertain customers with stories about this cat, and I remember I had one that just looked at me and said, "Where the hell did you get such a stupid cat from?" I'm like, well, we adopted her from the vet as a kitten. You can have nice furniture or cats, not both. No, my aunt managed to have nice furniture. My aunt managed to have nice furniture and her boyfriend's cats, but that was probably because those cats were unfortunately declawed.
No.
Declawing is a heinous thing, you know.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know until recently what the exact process of declawing does. Now that I know, I am very firmly anti-declawing.
Yeah, most people don't realize what's actually involved, and most people, once they know about it, won't do it.
Yeah, like the caps are a perfectly good alternative.
Just for the record.
I have around here somewhere. I've got to go looking for it. A picture
I've had and that's
Winston.
another thing. If you ever do make it out here, please feel free to bring Sylvia. Although I'd have to ask I feel like Smudge would... What?
I would pretty much have to.
Well, I feel like Smudge would behave with another cat. Although it would be, I feel like Sylvia would probably beat the crap out of Smudge.
I don't know how Sylvia would behave around another kitty, because as long as she's been with me, she's not been around another kitty.
It would be hard bringing her into another cat's territory, but this was my solution to Sammy scratching on my recliner.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
It's worked out quite well. I have to replace the cardboard about every year or so, but...
Oh, that's actually a real cool little... I like that.
It's just standard. It's a scratchy board, an insert for one of the cat tree things, but you can pick up pretty cheap online.
Smudge scratches the carpet sometimes, and usually when I catch him, I'm like, stop it, Smudge. But yes, the other day when I drove my mom home from the bar, of course, Smudge demanded his attention as soon as we got there. So I was petting him. And then I smelled something, and I looked at my hand. I'm like, wait a minute, you have shit all over you. Get the fuck away from me. Mom! Just come clean your cat, since he's not capable of doing it himself. Okay, I need to see the picture of Gigi in the fridge. Can you DM that to me?
I've got to go looking for the picture. Sarah had Gigi in the fridge. My Winston got into the oven one day. When I was cleaning the oven, I opened it, and then I turned to get the oven cleaner, and then I turned back, and there's Winston in the fridge. That is when I understood that he was Jewish.
Just for the record, Athena has food. She just divides food groups into food that is hers and food that can be shared with her.
Yeah. Okay, then.
That sounds like typical cat logic. Smudge's logic is if you're in the house, you exist to pet me.
Yeah,
I gotta go back to Diana. How did you determine the cat was Jewish?
Because he climbed into the oven.
How does that make him Jewish? I'm missing something here.
Oh my God, Purple! Even I get it.
Bad joke with the ovens at the extermination.
It's a Holocaust joke. It's a Holocaust joke. It is. You know what? Is it fucked up? Yes. Is it absolutely fucking hilarious? Yeah, kind of.
Yes. There was a running joke between Mel and me that Winston was Hebrew. Yeah.
I'm totally telling my mom that when I see her later. Like, yeah, I was on a stream with Diana, and she was telling me how her cat is. She had a Jewish cat. What do you mean? Well,
I'll find the picture. I've got it around here somewhere.
I know my mom. My mom will burst out laughing because my mom acts like she's such a good person, but deep in the back of her mind, she's just as fucked up as me. She just doesn't show it as me.
Sammy's son is Canadian. He never causes any trouble, but he's always apologizing for something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, we had my mom had Smudge. My mom has Smudge now. We had Lily, and when I was a kid, we had Tiger. Now this particular cat, Tiger did not like it when people were yelling, and she would walk up to you. If she heard yelling, she'd walk up to the person yelling, and she'd meow at them. And if they didn't stop yelling, she'd sink her teeth into their foot and not let go until the yelling stopped. Well, not sink her teeth, but she would place her... Ooh. Isn't that kind of bad taste given the times that we're in?
Wait a minute, what did I miss?
Slim's on lunch break.
Drinking Corona.
Yes.
Oh man, there you go.
Yeah, but yeah, Tiger would just kind of place her teeth on the offender's foot. Not hard, but let them know that she was there. And if you didn't stop yelling, and she would have a hard enough grip, you would try to wave your foot to get her off, and she'd be shaking her head right along. She would not let go. And one day that happened. She did that to my mom. The cat put her teeth in my mom's slipper, and I go, "Get off me! Get off me!" And the cat, and she finally gets the cat off, and the cat looks at her and just meows at the top of her lungs. And my mom's like, "Okay, you know what, Tiger? You're right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been yelling." This cat felt so entitled to whatever box or bag my mom brought into the house. If she didn't empty it fast enough, the cat would follow her around and bitch.
Should I pour a gin and tonic?
Yes.
Okay.
I have no strong opinion.
I have alcohol actually. Let me turn on my camera so I can show off my booze collection.
One of my cats that came with me from New York, Guapo.
This is my alcohol.
Yeah.
I have Kraken left over from my birthday.
Nice.
I still haven't opened this bottle of Chianti. And it's good Chianti. I've had it before.
Yeah,
I have
come.
Coco Divine, which is chocolate wine, essentially.
Okay.
And then I have this. Peanut butter liqueur.
Peanut butter? I've not heard of that before. I'd like
They
to
also
give
make
that a
peanut
try.
butter whiskey, and it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I'd try it.
Yeah, see, last night we were going to do Taco Tuesday with strawberry margaritas, and again, the nausea started setting in before I got around to cooking.
Oh, man.
So,
Well, I'm going to get off of here because I need to get myself together. I need to start my air pump on my tire, and I need to fix my appearance because I'm not going to an interview in pajamas. I could, but it wouldn't land me the job.
Oh, that's
Depends what your job is.
why don't you show up in pajamas and just say, I thought it was night shift?
I don't think they have that kind of sense of humor. Besides, like I said, it's a Hilton property, and as much as the extended stay is offering me $18 an hour, if they do decide to hire me, I would like to keep my prospects open. What do you mean too early for alcohol? There's no such thing. Get out of here with that fucking blasphemy.
Well, actually, I was just telling somebody on Twitter that the solution to that is to just accidentally set your clock to the wrong time zone.
5 o'clock
And then
somewhere.
I keep one on UK time and one on Eastern Australia for just such occasions.
Okay.
Sounds good to me. But yeah, I'm hopping off of here. I got to get myself together. Thanks for having me, Purple, even though I just kind of bumbled in out of nowhere. I do that a lot with my flighty ass. But anyway, I will catch all of you later. I might show up on the sofa tomorrow, assuming Mike does it. But
yep.
See y'all around.
Try to remember to throw
Good to see you, kid.
Always good to see you, Doc.
Auf Wiedersehen.
We catch
Bye, Diana.
Where did I put my shot glass? There.
I don't know.
I know I'm supposed to be.
Am I the only one?
To pick up my drug.
Your shot glass is over there.
Yeah,
Am I the only one that doesn't have any alcohol?
I guess I didn't know I was going to start a trend.
I don't have any alcohol open at the moment, but yeah, it probably wouldn't be a good idea for me.
I've already had my fluids for the day, but oh well, fuck it.
Oh my gosh, I've never had a certain part of my body itch this much since starting estrogen.
I hate this kidney failure thing where you've got to track every ounce of everything you drink.
Ah, shoot, missed this comment before she left. That was good.
Hey, Athena.
Welke testa ta patrone? Dai gorastu.
I don't know what the cat is doing.
Yeah, I have Canadian whiskey and I have Fireball under my sink, and actually Sloth Girl has a good collection upstairs, but we hardly ever get into it, so it's just kind of different things accumulated because we wanted to try out different drinks. But
yeah, I know the feeling. What I do need to get, thank you for reminding me, I need to pick up a fifth of rye. I have not had rye whiskey in a good long time, and I love this stuff.
Oh, I also have part of a bottle of cheap vodka left from making Drunky Bears.
I'm not a vodka person. Really, I'm not.
Well, again, you know, the Finnish heritage, I kind of have to be.
Okay, yeah, sort of.
But yeah, I'm not much for any alcohol straight. It's got to be mixed with something sweet.
I don't know. I'm not much of a drinker myself, and I'm Irish and German. So you'd think between that, you think between that I'd be a lush, but
yeah, Mate is questioning about any alcohol with kidney failure, which I'm sure is probably not a great idea, but I'm sure in moderation you're okay.
I've heard that in moderation it's okay, and I mean this is the first shot of alcohol I've had in over a year. So
I need to go get soda for my soda stream.
And thank you for reminding me I need to get a refill for my soda stream.
And to find where I put someone's treats, but that's not why she's sitting up there.
Why do you have a soda stream? Isn't that kind of a waste of soda?
I was wondering what time your soda stream starts, but...
Oh, that's right. I'm old. I hear the word stream and I still think about water.
Daju korostu. I don't know what my DNA is, but I was raised by Slovaks and Polacks.
Yeah, my dad's side is Polish, my mom's side is Finnish, but it seems everything I've always tended to take after my mother's side a lot more. Yeah. You know, I just genetically, it seems that I'm pretty much got everything from my mother's father. That everybody says I'm pretty much what he would have turned out to be if he hadn't, you know, if he had had proper nutrition as a child.
What is that you've got over there? No, wait a minute. What are you? Did
what
you
are you
get
making
your shots
out of your Corona caps?
It's currency for the apocalypse. We've all played Fallout, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Canide.
Oh, yeah, it's sticking to his magnetic implant.
I don't know. Whatever possessed you to get
my magnetic implant.
Hey, honey, whatever possessed you to get magnetic implants?
Kept dropping his keys.
Oh, okay.
So I have LED implants, and then I have microchip implants in my hand, and then on the side of my arm. I have glow-in-the-dark power button. I have a glow-in-the-dark star, and then I have silicone bead implants all over my arms that make my tattoos 3D. So I just wanted to get all the different implants that I could that were going to be easy to put in and take out. And then my tongue is split as well. So I just wanted to get as many body modifications that I could that wasn't going to be that hard and or through a large process. You know, I pretty much go into my homie and he'll just throw things in me or help me with my small body mods.
Well, I'm just fascinated by that clip I saw of the guy who had the implant of the thing, the magnetic thing to start his motorcycle with.
Yeah, and so.
Well, and tomorrow they're supposed to come and be replacing the lock on my door with a magnetic sensor one. So, you know, I'm kind of intrigued by that idea that, yeah, if I could just have my keys implanted in my hand and never have to worry about walking out without my keys again.
I lose my keys often if that would be tempting, but for a apartment rental, no.
That's one of the reasons why there are a bunch of us who are biohacking and putting things in our body like that, because eventually you will be able to pay for stuff with your microchip. You can open up car doors, all these things. So the more that society gets used to people like me and others having it, hopefully it becomes more relevant, or people are able to get that. Because imagine being able to have that.
I'm kind of surprised with the credit cards that you just have to tap that they, haven't already started with implants for that.
Well, in Sweden and Germany they have, but the coding for it isn't in English yet, so I can't exactly do it. There is a company.
Ray Comfort is getting all crazy about those implants.
Oh yes, they're the number of the beast.
Oh
yeah,
wait.
Yeah, he's claiming that the transgender thing is all to get people used to it, and that we're going to all be becoming transhuman and getting all sorts of things replaced with artificial components.
Gotta love these conspiracy theorists. Transhumanism and transgender are not the same thing.
Yeah, not even related. I was making the comment on somebody else's stream that, that's while I'm the only person in my family who's transgender, I'm probably also the only person in my family who doesn't have any metal implants yet, because I think everyone else has had a joint replaced at some point by now.
Alrighty.
So I think that all of my siblings and my mother, all have at least some metal screws in there somewhere.
I've got some screws loose. Does that count?
I once replaced a joint with a bong. Does that count?
No, I just came to that realization with realizing a while back that, I'm the only one in my family who made it past 50 without having knee surgery.
Oh my. No, I've got some screws in my ankle, but that's about it.
Weirdly enough, I used to have problems with my knee all the time, and somehow it got better over a couple of decades.
Oh, maybe you had hypermobile joints, and that actually gets better as you get older because you become less flexible.
Well, there is a hereditary problem about buildup of excessive calcium under the kneecap. So the inside of the kneecap is no longer smooth. It gets these little bumps and ridges.
Am I going to make it to the store today?
Yes.
You could forget to make it to the store, and then your list will be 100%.
Hold on.
There you go.
Let me ask the Squirrel of Judgment bot.
Squirrel of Judgment? This is a new one. Let me look at
Will
this.
Crazy Cat Lady make it to the store today?
It is doubtful.
Did you say a judgment bot?
They close at 8. Okay, I should be able to make it.
What? Is this program running? What else? Spell right?
All right, so that's okay. Yeah, you've got the problem with your buses not running very well there. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose I could blow the money and just call a car. I hate to do it, though.
Wait, who are we blowing? Oh, never mind. Sorry, I misconstrued.
Blowing a car. Well, that's what I heard.
It cost me 20-something to get there by Uber.
Hey, honey, I'll try anything twice.
Yeah, blowing a car is dangerous because, if it's been driven, you're going to burn your lips on the tailpipe. Mm-hmm. And, if it's too cold and it hasn't been driven, then you've got the problem of your lips sticking to the cold metal. So, either way doesn't work well.
That's where I got those burn marks from. Okay, now I remember. All right, I got it.
The Squirrel of Judgment says you're guilty of crimes against squirrel kind.
Against world kind?
Squirrel kind.
Oh, squirrel kind. I'm sorry. I'm old and deaf.
Well, the squirrel asked to see my nuts, and I pulled down my pants. I'm sorry. I showed him the wrong nuts.
It's just a bit. It's just a random bit of code. Don't worry about it. With a few pre-programmed responses.
Nice.
Okay, I can.
It's a bot I wrote for Discord.
It is the again the food and the boo and the goo. And I is so really so full of the poo.
You swerve to avoid a squirrel. Unknown to you, the squirrel pledges life debt to you. In your darkest hour, the squirrel arrives.
Yes.
Okay, so wait.
In your darkest hour.
Although the squirrel armor actually looks like the kind of thing that I came up with in art class in like 5th grade. That I was constantly doing armor for all sorts of different animals that... I was really working on it for the deer because I figured, it was only fair, that if the hunters had rifles, the deer should have armor.
Well, give the deer RPGs, for Christ's sake.
What are they going to do with role-playing games or a COBOL
There
extension
you
called
go.
report generator?
I'm not thinking. I'm not thinking right. Yeah, I am thinking right. Rocket-propelled grenades. That's right.
Hey, just because I know 3 different acronyms for RPG doesn't mean I'm going to choose the right one.
I'll give you a 4th if you don't know it already. Is report program generator.
Yeah, I constantly have that problem on the internet that people are just, throwing acronyms around all the time and just assume everyone is going to know what they mean.
Mm.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many nowadays.
It really pissed me off because I was reading a magazine article, that it was a political piece and they kept using the same acronym over and over. Nowhere in the article did it ever explain what it meant. And I was completely lost because I didn't know what it was they were accusing this politician of.
I mean, you have to at least put it once in the beginning, right? I mean,
yeah, that's just bad journalism to keep using that and, not defining it at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what my English teacher taught me in every single English class or whatever. When you're writing stuff, if you're going to shorten anything or not.
Yeah, the first time you use it, you spell it out and you put the acronym next to it in parentheses. And then it's okay to use the acronym from there on to shorten it. But
that's what I was saying.
That depends, according to Peace Style. Some organizations or acronyms are so well known that you can just use it straight off the first time, like NASA. Everyone knows what NASA means or should.
And if you're talking about a certain subject, I would agree to some extent, but I always got points taken off of my papers if I didn't acknowledge what it was first, or in the beginning, and then go from there. And nowadays, there's a million versions of any 3 letters put together. You can probably make a crap ton of things out of any 3 letters.
Well, and especially with the internet being worldwide, because, now we've got acronyms that weren't necessarily in English to begin with.
Like KMFDM. Yep, nobody gets that.
No. I know the band.
Yeah, I thought you might get that. Remember, I didn't live in it back in the day, but I read about it, how there was this big mystery about what that stood for, and it ends up being they're like a German band, I think. Is that right? And it's something in German, but there was, I think there was a magazine or something that held a contest to see who could come up with the cleverest definition for what it stood for. And the most popular one was Kill Motherfucking Depeche Mode.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Ox, that is a really dated joke, and people who are not alive during the Challenger tragedy will not get it. Secondly, I need to go do some college coursework for college classes and probably get some other stuff done because I need to make sure I can distribute the cake I plan on handing out tomorrow.
Yeah, actually, I saw that in the side chat, and I didn't get the reference right away either. So.
I remember that joke.
Oh, that was a horrible joke. Yeah.
I told it a lot.
So, thanks for having me. Be excellent to each other.
Okay.
And so long.
Yep.
And
anytime you're free.
Take care, honey.
It's fun to hang out with you. I think this is the first time, so maybe.
Yeah, Porpoise is becoming a bit more of a regular in here.
That's
Not
awesome.
Popping in every week, but every couple of weeks now for a little bit.
Yeah, they're very well informed. I catch them on In Time, I think. So.
Yeah, I had run into him randomly a couple of times, and then Neil had him on.
Cool. Yeah, that was fairly recent, wasn't it? Just a few weeks ago.
In the last month, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, actually, probably a little before that, because I think it was before Christmas. But yeah, and then Porpoise did host a segment for the Christmas marathon.
Easy for you to say.
Oh.
What's really fun is one of the nurses at the dialysis clinic is Belarusian, and I'm actually slowly starting to pick up some Russian language.
Groovy.
Yes, but do they know you're picking it up?
Oh, well, okay. I mean, sincerely and everything else, I walk in and I see Elena and it's Dobra Utra.
See, I don't know what any of it means, but I know the only Polish that I ever picked up was swearing.
Okay,
because that was the only time my father spoke Polish was when he was cursing.
Yep. Uh-huh. So you learned what pizda means, for example, right?
Like I said, I don't know what it means actually, but yeah, it's just.
Well, pizda is that very much favored Australian word. The all-purpose Australian word.
Yeah, I just know that these are not words that you want to say if you expect people to remain friends with you.
All right.
What I like to do is say merde. Pardon my French.
Yeah, there you go. I can say shit in 17 languages.
So then I follow it up with pardon my French.
Yeah.
Well, you know that I'm not having fun like playing video games on my streams when I start cussing in German.
It's German. In German, everything sounds like cussing.
Yeah, no kidding.
But that's when I cuss the most is when it's in German because YouTube's algorithm, I don't think it picks it up as much, so I'll just start cussing in German.
There you go. I love the German language. It's the only language I know in which I love you sounds like a threat.
Exactly. And then growing up next to Mexico, I do cuss in Spanish sometimes as well.
Oh, I was just... There was a thing I was just going over the other night about the first people to successfully escape from Auschwitz. That 4 of them had managed to steal some of the guards' uniforms. And of course, when they got to the gate, they challenged, and one of them just started, very loudly swearing at the one asking for their papers, so they opened the gate and let him through.
Okay, yeah.
Nice.
Crazy.
That's always a good tactic in authoritarian regimes. I understand that worked very well in Soviet Russia also.
That makes sense.
Hey!
Daju korostu.
Sorry, I usually manage to hit my mute button before those happen.
Yeah, what the hell? Who cares?
It happens. I've been there, done that. We all have.
Yeah, that's from the Tourette's.
I thought you had sneezed.
Yeah, maybe I'll play that back later and find out what it sounds like to other people.
I love doing that.
I had noticed that you didn't do that very much when you were over here those couple of times, unless I just didn't notice.
Yeah, I've gotten very good about just keeping it under control and, keeping it down until times when I'm alone.
No.
I think that basically was just, my upbringing kind of got beat into me as a child.
Literally, right?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm in the habit of not letting any of it out in public and just waiting until I'm sealed up alone at night to vent it all.
I actually think I have a almost similar thing. I don't know if it's, I don't think it's a similar condition at all, but I have a tendency to talk to myself.
Oh, yeah.
And, like when I'm alone and don't think anybody can hear me, I almost can't stop myself from it's really, I don't think of it as talking to myself. I think of it as thinking out loud. I just speak what I think. And I kind of have difficulty not doing it when I think nobody can hear me. But if I think people are within earshot, I can stay pretty quiet. So it's a weird thing.
I don't know what the neighbors think of me because I have a habit of talking to myself in fluent stupid. So I've been walking around the house.
Better to do it in language people don't understand.
There you go.
I get caught talking to myself all the time. And what's even funnier is I do it in my different personalities. So I have Cookie, and then I have another character that's Southern that's going to be debuting very soon called Dick Nick Hickerson is what his name is. And so people will walk into a room and I'm talking to myself in different dialects or in different characters. It's hilarious.
I've tended to do that I'll have conversations between the characters from my stories.
Okay then.
Right.
Okay.
And I hate that discovery too. The thing that sucks about working overnight at a hotel is I can be mopping away and in a good and crazy conversation with myself, and all of our guests are ninjas. So I'll be talking and mopping away. I look over and there's a fucking person standing there, fucking 2:30 in the morning. And there is no possible way they didn't hear me, there's just no way, there's no chance. And I'm just God damn it. Fuck.
A while back, I had seen a humorous little piece of the stages of craziness. And let's see, you had one stage was where you talked to yourself. The other one was where you answered yourself, then you argued with yourself, and then you lost those arguments.
That's right. Right.
Okay, Sarah,
that's when you know you're crazy.
I often have conversations with the cats, but to be fair, the cats offer much more intelligent responses than my neighbors do. So
there you go. Well, who the hell is this over here now?
Oh,
I got the sun in the hizzy.
I was listening in the car, And as somebody who talks to himself, first, there's nothing wrong with talking to yourself. And my dad used to always say, you're not crazy until you start losing arguments with yourself all the time.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you're fine. You know,
and
I'm
again,
gonna...
Sarah, I tend to do almost everything in dialogue. I don't really vision things well.
Wow.
But I'm not as visually oriented as most people are. I don't rely on my eyes for a lot of things. I'm much more dependent on my hearing and tactile senses.
I'm just all mental imagery. I'm just like vivid. You know, like I have my dreams can be like, oh my God, so fucking vivid. Like I have a lot of weird dreams where I find most of my dreams are like in places I've never been and involve people I don't recognize. Like my brain is randomly generating, you know, just random people and places. Like, and I've had to like run barefoot through snowy streets, and there's the slush and snow and the curb and Jesus Christ, like all like the fucking dirt and the snow. I mean, I have fucking just vivid dreams, man.
So we have neurons in our brain that are specifically there to help us dream. So they're like, you literally have parts of your brain that are like actors in a play that help you dream. So it's
I did not know this.
Pretty much.
No.
I heard it on NPR, and there's way more science behind it than I'm explaining it. But there's like an actual scientific answer to why we dream. Like there's a part of our brain that is specifically there for dreaming.
I always thought that dreaming was basically like your brain defragging your hard drive every night.
Yeah, that's what I've thought.
Like
of
it was
that way
going
for a
through
while.
all the short-term memories and deciding which ones need to be plugged into long-term memory and which ones could just be thrown out.
I agree, but I have reoccurring memories where like I'll come to and I'm talking to somebody.
Okay.
Or like I constantly have dreams I'm at my grandma's house. She had this big giant house, and for some reason I like in my dreams I'm walking around her neighborhood. Dreams are messed up, but like I said, I took a lot of drugs as a kid, so
what's crazy is there are times that I have been dreaming and I was literally not sure whether I was awake or dreaming.
Oh yeah.
Yep, I have those too.
It's really unsettling when that happens.
I have these like sort of they're probably lucid dreams, or at least quasi-lucid, where I'm like in a completely normal situation, and I just start getting this feeling that I'm dreaming, that this is not real, and I start asking people in my dream. I start talking about. I'm like, I don't think this is real. I think I'm really sleeping. I'm laying in my bed sleeping, and I'm dreaming. And every time, every character conspires to convince me it is real. Every fucking time. I had a dream once when I was in college that I was in philosophy class in college, and I started having that feeling again. And I went to the philosophy instructor. I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is a dream. I'm sure I'm dreaming, and she actually convinced me it was real.
Oh, that's awful.
I've actually had the opposite problem a lot of times that, you know, in the middle of the day, I have to sort out, you know, is this actually a dream I had, or is this actually a memory of something that happened the day before?
Okay, then. Yeah.
So I try to decipher because I did a lot of hallucinogens as a kid. You know, if you can physically touch it and if you turn around and it's still there, then it's still there. But if you're talking to something and you turn around and it's gone, it probably was not there. You know, when I quit drinking 7 years ago, I thought DTs was just something they would tell people to scare them. I would have full hallucination of spiders and rats and like all kinds of classic DT symptoms, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So hallucinations come from all different types of things.
Indeed.
Yeah, they do.
My fiance told me that I speak German in my sleep.
God, that's so fucking awesome.
I don't understand. You know, aside from watching too many war documentaries, I don't see where I would have picked up any German at all.
Oh, that's awesome. I speak Spanish. Oh, go ahead.
I have been told that I have spoken German in my sleep. Well, I'm more or less a German speaker at this point. I mean, I learned it as a second language, but at one time I was fluent enough that I could live in Berlin and have no problem.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then the sleep talking I would do would be in German rather than in English.
I lived in Mexico for 8 months, and it took me a long time to get back to English. Language is funny that way.
And then the other fun thing, and I was talking to my former German teacher about this, and we had a nice conversation. I tried to learn French as an adult, and then the professor would go to each of us, ask us a question in French, and we were supposed to answer in French. And when she would do that, my German was coming back. I would find myself trying to answer her in German, and it's like, no, we're not this language today.
Well, weirdly enough, when I was in France, people were walking up to me and my cousin, and they were like, Espanol, and they speak Mexican Spanish in France. I was shocked. Then. I was more legibly than my French was terrible and their English was terrible.
I would be thinking that they would speak Castilian, but I guess not, huh?
I was shocked because we looked like this. We looked like paisas. I had a vest and my hat on. We just stuck out, and it was weird. It was weird to communicate somebody speaking down home Mexican Spanish, because even where I live, Southern California, we speak Spanglish. It's a big mixture,
Yeah, for sure.
So it's a trip when someone speaks my language. Oh, across the world, it's crazy. And if
they weren't speaking Spain Spanish, they were speaking Mexican Spanish, or
Cheech and Chong.
Did they have the more like?
They were speaking. Well, go ahead, bro. Sorry.
Were they saying it more with at the end instead of, I don't know, there's a little bit more of a S slur in Spain Spanish.
Yeah,
so
because
was it more of that, or was it?
They did end a lot of it with shays, and they were mixing Castilian in with it, because they are two completely different languages. But they knew the nomenclatures, and that's the weird thing when there's subtle things in Mexican Spanish, I say "y tú," I don't say "how are you doing," I say "and you." That's rude everywhere else. That is rude everywhere else. But where I'm from, that's "Hey, what's up with you? What's up with you?"
Yeah.
But someone said that to me, and I was like, wow, because language is funny. One word could get you a hug, one could get you slapped in the face if you don't know what you're saying.
Oh, one of my German teachers had a wonderful story. I forget where he was stationed in Germany, but he was talking to his buddies in the bar, and he was trying to say, yeah, I like this guy. So, he said, "Ich habe ihn gern," which everywhere else is, hey, I like him. Unfortunately, in the area he was in, it meant I have a romantic attachment to him.
Yikes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see where that one was going.
That was another thing that was weird to me. In certain parts of Mexico, PDA is outlawed, but everybody loves and hugs each other.
Yeah.
In Mexico City, they're hardcore, but everywhere else, no one really cared. It was one of those weird things.
Oh, put this stuff.
That's one of the reasons I loved going to the UK. Honestly, it's because at least they spoke a version of English that we could communicate with.
Okay, then.
There's nothing wrong with going somewhere where you don't speak the language, but if you're there for more than 2 months, it starts straining on you.
America and Britain, two countries divided by a common language.
And even in the UK, I go somewhere and you'll realize how much you speak in slang. I had a friend from Hamburg, Germany, and he came and lived here with me for almost 2 months. He said, at first he didn't understand a damn word I was saying because we don't speak in proper English in America at all.
For sure, yeah.
In Germany, they get taught like the standard Oxford English.
Yeah,
He's a genius though. Like he's a real life brain surgeon, and I'm like, bro, you still smoke weed and drink a ton of beer. So shout out to the Germans. He's a good guy.
I don't think you can get your German passport unless you consume at least a pint a day, right?
I grew up around a German family, so that made me just die of laughter inside, Diana, because that's kind of true.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that is true.
My German neighbor, when I was like 14, she's the one that introduced me to alcohol in the freezer. She taught me all kinds of seedy stuff. Germans are awesome.
Well, when I went to Germany, they said as long as you can sit at the bar, you can drink. So at 14 years old, I was drinking at a bunch of these places that we visited.
Okay,
that's awesome.
What do you mean about introduced you to alcohol in the freezer? What?
My parents were big time vodka drinkers, but they never put their bottles in the freezer because they would drink a bottle a night, so it never lasts that long. And so when I would hang out with my neighbor and I would go over to his grandma's house, she'd have a full bar set up. I think they were swingers. And my mom later told me that like she thinks they were swingers, but she grabbed my dad and made him leave, which made sense. They had a personal hot tub. Their house was geared for parties for grown ass adults.
So if you cannot hold your alcohol, do not hang around with Germans or Russians. Just don't do it.
There's a lot of people like that. I learned in Mexico too. They love to drink. And they love to laugh at you when you're stumbling down the street.
I don't know. I went to a lot of adult parties, and it had nothing to do with alcohol, but in reference to me, there were often comments about holding your liquor. So,
well, there you go. Yeah, by the ears.
Is Sarah trying to jump in? I had a friend. She is an absolute legend. She's probably 5'3", 5'4". She's half French, half Vietnamese, and I would watch her outdrink grown man. And even my dad used to drink with her, and he's like, yeah, I was in the Navy for 20-something years, and you outdrank me. She was no joke. So it's not always the size of the person.
Sarah, hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Okay, and now we have illustrated kitties.
Aww.
Hi guys. Yeah, sorry. I'm working on some art, and I have new headphones, so let me know if these sound okay or terrible.
What's this sorry about? Why are you apologizing for your artwork?
Because I work in customer service, and we're sorry for everything.
Do you know what's so funny? So I am that angry California customer that you guys make fun of, and sorry makes me more angry.
Oh, so one thing that we had a thing where we had to say something to like New York customers, and part of the little verbiage was "do not apologize." So we basically started calling it the "sorry not sorry" rule in work, because they're like, "Do not apologize to people from New York," and I'm like, okay.
And I'll tell you what it is. It's entitlement, and people from LA have the same thing. We're so used to being served at every angle. If you apologize, we're like, F you, I just want a solution.
So I started making cartoons of terrible customers. See? I have a bunch of them.
Wow. That's
if you have any ideas, let me know, and I will add them to my list.
Put a bald black guy from LA with a sense of entitlement and write, I'm from here. I
will have to. I don't want to do that because that might make people think I'm racist because I'm from Georgia, and I did have one of them that was a black guy, and they're like, well, that's racist. I'm like, I just drew a black guy. It's fine. They're like, no, well, it's racist. So
yeah, you have to be careful about that.
Well, it wasn't a black guy. It was, where was the drawing that they were? I'm sorry, I'm just scrolling through my drawings.
That's awesome. I'm working on my sense
I was called
of
racist for this drawing because I'm not good at drawing skin tones, and I'm doing simplistic style. And someone said I was racacist for this. I'm like, well, I still
don't listen. That's
not racist. No.
Yeah, I like the color palette that I used for her, and I think she's pretty. So
that's nice. I like that.
I think people are really insensitive. I said something on Twitter a long time ago, and someone told me I know nothing about black people, and I need to go find a black person to talk to. I saved the tweet when I'm having a bad day. Did you just turn
around and just be like, "Hi, I am a black guy. How you doing?"
So I speak Spanish. When people talk trash about me, I let them just bury themselves. So I let them just keep going and going and going, you know. And I'm not here, you know. I would be fighting all day if I was defending people and their crazy ideals of what they think about me. I don't think there's enough time to fight all the people who disapprove of my way of life.
Yeah, that takes effort, and I'm not about that.
For real.
No, I just laugh at those people that think that it's weird that I'm a cyborg or that I'm a part of Satan's plan or something like that. Because
I think it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, no,
I mean, you are part of Satan's plan, but that's the fun part about you. That's what makes you awesome.
Yes, Satan's my daddy. Hail Satan! Yes, we know.
That's okay. Like my birthday's on Halloween, and for the longest time, I had a coworker that would apologize to me all the time, and I didn't know why she was apologizing me. Finally, she told me that she was apologizing to me because I was going to hell because my birthday's on that day. I'm like,
oh what the fuck?
So what's the point of even trying? I get that I'm not religious because this was while I still worked at Hellmart, and right after my mom got mad at me for not being Christian, I got a call from them. So Hellmart is Satan, just FYI. But yeah, she's like, I'm so sorry, it's so horrible. I'm like, what's so horrible? I don't get it.
Why does being born on Halloween automatically put you in hell?
Apparently, according to her, it used to be a Christian holiday, and then the pagans stole it from them. And because the pagans stole it from the Christians, that means that anyone born on that day is cursed and gonna go to hell.
Sorry, but I thought it was the other way around.
It is the other way around. And she's like, well, you're good with computers. You can look it up and find out. I'm not that good with computers.
The pagans stole it from the Christians, even though the pagans have it documented for a couple hundred years before anyone in Europe saw a Bible.
Yeah, those pesky pagans are stealing all kinds of shit.
I don't get it. Oh, well.
I don't either, but yeah, she said that pagans stole it from Christians. It was originally a Christian thing, and
I spent 25 years in the pagan community, and a lot of it was just entertaining the Christian takes on so much of it. You know, and the biggest one with the Christians saying that all pagans were Satanists, and having to explain over and over that no, if you reject the Bible, Satan is a character of the Christian mythology.
Yeah.
So if you don't believe the Bible, Satan doesn't exist either.
Okay, so I have to come running back on that one. My particular hellfire and brimstone version of Catholicism did preach that pagans were demonic.
I don't know how I did it, but I accidentally gave this little kitty a little tiny itty bitty mustache. See?
So, so when I came in the community, I was like, I thought paganists and Satan, like people who pagans and Satanists were kind of the same thing. And I just invented something, paganist.
Paganists.
Yeah, according to my mom, all non-Christians are the same. So whenever she was telling people I wasn't religious, she says, my daughter's a Scientologist. I wish I had the money to be a Scientologist, to be honest. That would be nice.
And then not give them the millions of dollars.
I know, right? I mean, I wish I had the money for it, but didn't have to give it to them. That's
so
right.
Here, Scientologists are generally the rich people. I won't even lie. They are. Like, I'm not kidding you. I try to explain this to people. If you were standing, the big blue building, is it on Sunset or Hollywood? Oh, I'm going to Hollywood Hell for that one. It's on Sunset because it's next to the Children's Hospital. Okay.
I was going to say, I think it's Sunset, yeah.
So if you stand on Sunset Boulevard and you're facing east with your back turned west, okay, If you put your hand to the right, the Church of Scientology literally owns that entire side all the way up through the tourist trap and everything. They own every building. I worked at 3 different tattoo shops that were owned by the same guy, and he would pay his money to the Church of Scientology, like his rent and everything.
Well, don't the Scientologists own most of Jacksonville, Florida, as well?
They're smart.
Or is
They
that
buy.
Clearwater?
Yeah. And when I lived in Portland, Oregon, they own a huge swash of downtown Portland, Oregon as well.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't it cost like $8 million to learn that you have microscopic aliens living in every cell of your body?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so I know we're all iffy about South Park, and if you haven't watched the Paramount Plus South Park versions, they are hilarious. But South Park explains the Church of Scientology, and it's beyond whacked out, and they just go by what they teach their own people. That's all they do.
Well, I'm trying to remember. Weren't Matt and Trey Scientologists at one time or something?
No, Mormon.
Yes.
That's it.
They were
But
not
Isaac
Scientology.
Hayes.
The guy that did the voice of was his Big
Chef.
Al? Chef.
Yeah,
Isaac Hayes.
The guy that did the voice of Chef, he was Scientologist. So when they first did their Scientology episodes, he
That's
got all
when he
pissy
left.
and wanted to quit because they were making fun of his religion.
Yeah.
And in LA, a little unknown fact, a huge amount of Hispanic and African American people are Scientologists. A huge amount in LA.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Times have changed. Because it used to be. Oh, times have changed.
That's crazy.
But it's also demographics in LA. Like, white people are a minority here.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So it's all about demographics in the end.
Okay, Doorknob had brought pizza.
Okay, before we get further in this, so is paganism when you get pegged by a pagan? Never mind.
Are we pagans, Slim, or what?
Yeah, we're pagans.
Yeah, sorry, not my kink.
That's kind of like on TikTok. They have this thing where this woman says, "Well, I didn't peg you as a so and so," and it's like the guy's like, "Well, what do I have to do for you to peg me?"
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
That just makes me miss my strap on. Don't have it anymore.
That's what Cookie needs to go over next Tuesday is pegging. We haven't gone over pegging yet, so Cookie McSweet Tits needs to go over that.
Okay,
so,
but
Tuesday.
Cookie McSweet Tits needs to come dressed as Peg Bundy though.
Oh my God, yes.
There we go.
With the hair.
I just need a red foam wig, just a red version of it, and then
and the animal print, the leopard animal print, and then you're instantly Peg Bundy.
I'm sure that on Snapchat or whatever it is, I could find the filter and use that.
Totally.
I'm sure there's probably some filter like that on Snapchat or something.
Oh yeah. I have a mountain of paperwork to fill out because I've been avoiding this for a while. Mm-hmm. But it's the like, does your kid have a bank account? Does he smoke cigarettes on Tuesday? Does he run down the street on the freeway?
Why are they spying on your kid?
It's a questionnaire. It's like a state-approved questionnaire that all schools, home schools, they want to know if your kid, if they're homeless. They want to know if you're a part of a cult. They flat out ask you on here, like, are you part of any religious sect that will impede your child from going to school? They're basically asking, like, what cult are you in?
Well, it's more a question of which cult I'm not in, to be honest, because
Well, they got smart, and yes, I have a landline. Judge me, and I mean, yes, I'm not gonna.
Everyone needs a hobby, and mine is joining cults.
I always get kicked out of cults because I ask too many questions.
I mean, I was kicked out of a Mormon church, so. More like my cousin was told, do not bring her back again, ever.
That's why I got kicked out of Sunday school as a kid. I kept asking too many questions, and they're like, "This he can't ask these many questions."
That's why I got kicked out of the Catholic Church as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom
The
was
senior priest
to
actually
just tell
asked
me
my
no more
mom.
questions.
Yeah, when I was 8, the senior priest asked my mom to stop sending me to the children's Bible study because I kept asking questions that made the nuns uncomfortable.
What surprises the hell out of me is that there was a Bible study in a Catholic church. I mean, these people don't pay attention to the Bible.
They don't. It's funny you would say that. They don't. And I went to Bible study too. And the guy who kicked me out left the church and became a Methodist and then came back to being a Catholic. But he had a hard life, so I really don't talk too much trash to him, but I see him all the time. And I love going near those people that would tell me, like, you're going to be a complete failure in life. And I'm like, I make more money than you do.
Yeah.
So
I love growing up in the Catholic Church. I had to be in the Catholic school system for a while. We got the Mysterium. I mean, we got the whole Catholic canon and the rules and everything else, but the Bible, no.
Oh, they would sit down with us and make us like. That's why.
Well, they called it Bible study, but in retrospect, I wonder how much of it really had to do with the Bible.
But the Catholic Bible, exactly, because it has what, like 30 more books or something. I used to know all the numbers, but
I forget at least 3 more books. Yeah,
it's something crazy. So when I read the King James, I remember grabbing the King James and being like, "What the fuck is this?"
It has more books, but whatever you do, do not read any of the other Gospels, or they will send you to hell for it.
Oh, where's my nap? Oh, I put all my Bibles out of this room. I was tired of looking at them. I took them all out of this room.
I have a question.
Yes, dear.
Is a Methodist somebody who smokes meth and then goes to church? Never mind. Sorry.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. That was
I want to
actually
be
one
there
of
for
the
that
questions as the
sacrament.
kid that they never gave me an answer to. Was if Jesus had 12 disciples, why did we only have 4 Gospels? Why didn't we hear from 2/3 of his closest followers?
I've always thought
the
that.
others just didn't want to bother.
Was
Somewhere
Thomas
around here, I've
drunk?
got a copy of the Gospel of Thomas, and that's kind of an interesting read.
Oh, yes,
and
it
it's
is.
like, they've got nothing up on Harry Potter here.
I have the word according to Biff, which is like a take on Thomas. I gotta get on my.
That sounds
It's
awesome.
a good book. You guys should look. It's a really good book because it's. I swore like an atheist wrote it. Oh, that reminds me.
Yeah, Thomas had Jesus as a child doing all sorts of magic tricks to show off to his friends.
And I have.
That was the infancy gospel.
I have Lost
Wasn't
Books
it?
of the Bible. Are they in Lost Books of the Bible?
I don't
Because
know.
it's a bunch of writings about Jesus as a child. Like he literally pushes a kid off a roof and kills him.
Yeah, that's
No, the kid slips and falls off the roof, and Jesus resurrects him to prove that he's not lying, because everyone's like, you pushed this kid.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Oh,
no,
like-
I didn't. Let me bring him back to life.
I mean,
Whether or
you,
not
like,
he
if someone
pushed him
claims that
also
you
will
killed a kid,
depend on which of the non-canonical Gospels you look at.
Oh, you have to smoke meth to believe that. I'll tell you that.
Jesus was giving erections to kids? Never mind. Sorry.
no, that's the priest.
Yeah, that's the Catholic. That's the Catholic version.
Okay, I misconstrued that. Yeah.
Well,
But in
another
that-
story that was in there was like Jesus making pigeons out of clay and bringing them to life.
I mean, at least the clay pigeons won't poop on everything.
Well, and at least the clay pigeons were safe because no one had invented shotguns yet.
Exactly.
Yes.
What color background should I put on the kitties? Because I'm not doing a background. Fuck that.
It's
Something that
not
makes
bad
the
the
cat
way it
stand out.
is. You know,
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, I would keep it to something not too bright.
So this good?
That's some cute pussy right there.
Thank you. There's 2 of them rubbing against each other. Bow, chicka, wow, wow.
Maybe a little bit lighter, just because.
Yeah, it's really dark on my screen, so yeah.
Well, just that the darker kitty, I think you're losing some of the detail around the edges of his outline with it being too dark.
Is that good? Oh, I need to put his white foot on there. He has a white paw. I need to put his white paw on. He looks like he's missing a foot. Poor baby.
No, I see the one white paw, and the other one I see it looked like just a hint of it that's hidden behind the other kitties.
Yeah. It's supposed to be like... Well, not right there. Where do... Oh. I was dumb and put everything on one layer because reasons. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So this is going to be fun.
Yeah, I was not seeing that was where his other leg was. I thought it was going to be...
Well, the only reason I know it's there is because it's like right here in the picture, and it's covered by a lot of fur, so I don't really have to do much
Well,
detail
I thought
on
it was behind the white cat.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't think that there should have been another paw there, but yeah.
Again, the only reason I know it's because I'm staring right at it.
So I want to show you something really quick. I've recently got this shirt. Do you see what it says?
Hold on.
Suckers.
That is awesome. I like that a lot.
And so I was going to make a patch out of it, but I'm like, no, I'm going to wear it. I was like, no, I'm going to wear this one all the time. I love putting... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
If that was a bumper sticker, that would be freaking awesome. I so would put that up.
See, that's the
It
thing,
probably
like,
is a bumper sticker somewhere.
with my patch maker, I can scan it, put it in the computer, and start making patches that look like that. You know.
Well, on one of those, one of my old cars, they've got the little fish that they stick on the back of the car. And I had like a whole school of those little fish, and then I put one in going the opposite direction that said pagan.
Oh, that's funny.
That's cute.
I love the Darwin ones.
Me too.
Oh yeah, okay. Yep. Hey, what else do?
They remind me because when I was a kid, it was strange for me to see people challenge the oligarchy, to challenge the church. So I'd see a Darwin bumper sticker, and I'm like, oh, they didn't go to hell. Their car didn't explode. It's all.
I mean, it did explode. Jesus just brought them back because someone accused him of killing them.
Yeah, well, I think that was part of the problem, with me and religion as a kid, was that as being the Catholic family, we were in the minority of a village that was mostly Jewish.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, that's most of our neighbors do not even believe in the Gospels at all. So how is that supposed to work?
I weirdly grew up on the Catholic side of town. There's a Mormon side of town. Well, the Mormons now live everywhere because they've taken over my neighborhood.
I didn't meet a Catholic until I was in until I was in high school, actually, because she was in middle school.
Oh, that's so crazy to me. One of my best friends, we still laugh about this. When I first met him in junior high, he told me I was going to hell because I'm Catholic. He was
Usually
raised...
when people tell me that now, I just tell them, like, I'll send you a postcard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Sarah, you're getting compliments on these side chats.
So. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
I always tell them, save me a seat, especially if they're older than me. Do you know, this is one thing that always gets me.
Save me a
like,
seat.
Most people I know are going to hell in their own religion. Bet you're a flat earther. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, but honestly,
stickers.
Those are sick. I liked those. Sarah, how many people do you know are going to hell in their own religion?
Basically,
if they
all
actually
of them?
believed it, virtually everyone.
It depends on how strictly you want them to adhere to Christianity, because if they strictly adhere to it to the point of you have to treat your neighbors the way you want to be treated, everybody's going to hell.
Exactly.
I don't know a single person not going to hell.
I always say, like, I recently said this to my brother because he was trying to harp on me about my atheism. I said, man, you better hope that SHIT isn't true because you're going to hell. In your own religion, you're going to hell.
I have had to point this out that strictly from an autistic point of view, the golden rule breaks down really fast because, if I treat other people the way I would like them to treat me, they think I'm being cold and rude. Because most of the time, I would rather just be left alone and you didn't acknowledge that I was there.
You know what, though? I'm not autistic, and I'm at that point in my life where I just want to be able to wander around and do my own thing and be left alone.
Like I go to the store. I don't want the employees coming and asking if I need help. I want something, I would really like the stores to start having a sticker you could put on that says, "Leave me alone."
There are stores, not in the United States, of course, that you can actually get different little baskets, and one basket says I can shop by myself, and another basket that says I need help. They should totally do that here.
I'm
gonna actually, Sloth Girl's son got me a T-shirt that says "Thank you for leaving me alone."
Okay.
I want to get a shirt that says "I'm in my 40s," because more than once I've been hit on by some overambitious young lady or young man, and I just very politely tell them, "I'm 40." and I'm lying about being 40. I'm over 40. And they're like, "Thank you, sir. Thank you very much."
Last time I got hit on in public, turns out the guy was like 18. I'm like, no.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
Aw.
Cheeto kitty.
That's judo. That's a judo stand. I tell them my age, like I'm old. If I'm old enough to be your parent, if you're at my age, if you're 25, 26, I could be your parent.
I don't mind.
I'm okay with dating older, but I'm not as okay with dating people younger than me. I'm 37 now, and I think my cutoff for last time was like 5 years younger than me, because anything under that, they start getting like really childish and needy, and they want me to be more like a mommy, and I'm like, no. I can't.
I remember 37.
Well,
I won't be able to remember a damn thing about it. I have horrible memory. I can barely remember yesterday.
That's not necessarily a bad thing. I remember everything. Sorry.
It is when people ask me, like, so what did we do last week? I don't know. You're the one that has the memory, not me.
Yeah, but I remember everything. So there's certain people that I'm still mad about. Like me and my ex-wife right now, we could bring up a toothbrush and a vacation, and we would throw gloves real quick.
My cutoff for dating is that there is definitely a hard line about not dating anyone younger than my oldest daughter.
I don't have kids, so
I had a friend. She passed away, but she started having kids at 12 years old. So her oldest daughter is 26 or 27 now. Wow. No, she's like 28. Oh man.
I don't mind a 20-year age gap. I mean, but there is this thing for me called too young. Yeah. When it's just very difficult to hold a conversation with someone.
Very much so.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you don't have some common reference points.
Mm-hmm.
But there are, as someone who exclusively dates older women, because I'm still cougar bait after all these years. Even in my 40s, cougars walk up to me. It's the strangest thing. But there has to be a certain rapport, and even if someone's younger than you, they can still be mature. It's about maturity.
Well, I know.
So if someone can hang, then they can hang. Like, I ride bikes. There's someone that rides that, they're young, but they can hang, so no one says anything. Most people their age couldn't hang. So it is what it is,
Yeah, there are exceptions, because I've known some people that at 15 or 16 were more mature than some people at 40.
Yes.
Yep.
And I've known some people that were close to my age who had not achieved the maturity level that most people are when they leave high school yet.
I have a nephew who at 22 has his own apartment, a successful job, went to college. I was couch surfing and working at a Carl's Jr., so I'm no one to judge.
Now, my wife was 15 years older than I. When we got married, I was 23, she was 38. And then my most recent ex was 13 years younger. when we got together, I was 41 and she was 28, and neither age difference was a problem. I mean, with the two of them, it was other things that got in the way.
Well, with my fiance and I, it wasn't so much setting a specific number for age, but there were certain markers that we expected. Like, first of all, you had to have been old enough to have lived in an apartment on your own. And basically, we considered anyone who didn't have an active library card and an active voter ID probably wasn't mature enough to bother with.
And the library card is very important.
My thing is trying to find someone that I have stuff in common with, because in my area, like I've mentioned before, I think I live in Georgia, so everyone here's like, yeah, I like going hunting and fishing and all this stuff. I'm like, I like those things, but I also like video games and movies, and I'd like to be inside.
Well, that was the biggest problem I had living in Michigan, was there was no one locally that I had anything in common with, because everything up there, everyone was about football and hunting and fishing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I had no interest in any of those. So I absolutely could not find anything to have a conversation about.
Do you know, it's really ironic, because where I live, I have some of the most beautiful outside spaces on earth, and everybody's inside. Or like when I take Isaiah, we walk a mile every day, and once a week I take him to a canyon by my house. I am not kidding you. When we drive by, there are people taking selfies in front of the sign because they want everyone to know that they go hiking. I'm just trying to not die in my 50s. That's all. That's why I go hiking, because I want to live a little bit longer.
I tell you, Doorknob Head, here in Pittsburgh, I am just totally way out of the loop, because it's all Stillers all the time here with the football. And I am not even a football fan. I couldn't give a shit about football. And I've already been told to go home, to get out of Pittsburgh.
Well, living basically north of Green Bay, yes, there were a lot of people into hunting lions and bears.
And tigers. Oh my! Wait, what?
I'll tell you, like my thing about sports, it was always a good escape for me as a kid. Like my parents, there would always be some drama or something. I could go hide in front of a television and watch a game.
Something you need to understand about the Northern Peninsula of Michigan is it's only Michigan in regard to that the taxes get sent to Lansing. Aside from that, it's actually northeastern Wisconsin. There was nobody up there.
Life, isn't it?
I recently learned that
there was
insurance
nobody
is
up there who
ridiculous
had
in,
any love for the
Michigan.
Detroit sports teams at all. So pretty much everybody followed the Packers.
Go sports. Yeah, I recently learned that Michigan insurance is completely ridiculous. I'm so glad I don't have a license for that state.
Oregon's like that too. They make you jump through so many hoops. And I thought California was the worst, but then I moved other places.
They are not. So I was speaking to another person that works with me. She's actually trained for for Michigan, and she was telling me that she had to speak to someone and tell him that 2 cars were $22,000 to insure in Michigan.
See, I wonder what that's based on, because mine was
Detroit.
Not all that much. But
no, you're not in Detroit though. Detroit apparently is like completely ridiculous, like everywhere around it. But that's also the thing in New York, like Brooklyn and Queens and all those places. Insurance is completely ridiculous, but once you go out of those areas, it's actually not too bad at all.
Yeah,
it's so
if you're
sad.
In a major metro area, it's going to be.
That sounds reasonable to me because I own 3 cars. So 2,200 sounds reasonable.
No, not 100, 22,000.
22. California is outrageous, though. That's how much they made me pay for my.
California is outrageous too. Yeah, depending on where you go.
That's how much they made me pay for my truck, and they want old vehicles off the road, so they're charging outrageous prices. And like today, when I drove Isaiah in my truck because my town's a giant speed trap.
Now, see, that's one of the advantages that I've always found, was that with owning a car more than 10 years old, I don't have to have anything more than basic liability, because replacing it's going to be cheaper than paying the insurance on it for a year. You know,
I try to explain that to so many people with older cars. I'm like, you don't need comprehensive or collision, because by the time you pay for your insurance and you pay that deductible, you may as well bought like 5 of like Mazdas that you currently have.
Well, you know, so I've got the basic
notes.
little EconoBox car.
I know, right?
You know, nothing special about it. It's a lightweight car, so it doesn't cause a lot of damage if it hits something. You know, I'm only paying $65 a month for insurance.
I've bored people before by talking about insurance, so I'll stop. I've been told to not talk about insurance as much in like all the chats.
Screw those
so
people.
I'm sorry.
Screw those people. You literally just taught me something. I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
There's
nothing wrong about talking about your job, you know, as long as you don't go on about it endlessly.
And I'm about to get rid of my.
The thing about license plates, and I'm like, I honestly don't know that much about license plates because I don't really deal with them. I know how they work in Georgia. That's about it.
I can talk about hand jobs. Oh, never mind. Sorry, regular jobs, and we'll talk about that later.
I don't like giving hand jobs.
So I have a saying like, I consider a hand job something I can do on my own. So I'll say, "Oh man, that's a hand job." Yeah. Oh man, that's a hand job, because I could have done that on my own. Like if a plumber comes over and replaces my faucet, I'm like, dude, that's a total hand job. I could have done that on my own. You know,
I agree with that. You know,
I love it though.
I don't see the point in getting or giving a hand job to somebody else, because it's like, you know, what did you need a second person there for?
A handy is like those people who go looking for hookers, but they're too scared to have sex. Like that's what handies are for. Not a fan of it.
From what I've been told for guys, the hand job is because it's nice when you give it to yourself, but then these are those ones that like apparently think too much about it, so they're more focused on their own hand. So apparently, if it's someone else's hand to them, it's better. I
guess, but I wouldn't turn it down though, Slim. I'm not going to turn down a handy. I'm just saying, could have done it myself.
I'd rather give a blowjob, to be honest.
Exactly.
There you go. Yeah, no, I would as well. And then a fisting comes next, but we'll talk about that later.
Oh no, I could be totally satisfied with just oral. That just giving oral is all I really need.
I told a story about that.
I can't do that. I've been with people that only do oral, and I'm like, I need something more. It's like, can you just put a finger in me or something, please? Something else.
Yes. I usually use some fingers involved in it at the same time. You know?
Oh, these people don't, or if they do, they don't put it in the right hole. So it's like, I'm probably going to have like a urinary tract infection now, thanks to you. But okay.
Well, that's why I always carry rubber gloves with me. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Hey, that's a good thing to do.
You said it while I was thinking it and smoking at the same time. I have Rubbermaids that go all the way up to my elbow.
Oh, you have those fun ones. I love those gloves. Those are my favorite.
So because of my job, like I have my own shop, and I sit there and I have the catalog where I can order all these different kind of cool things from 3M. I have real 3M gloves that go all the way to my elbow.
That is amazing.
Which color are they?
Oh, they're black.
Yes, my favorite.
Yeah.
Yes, those are my favorite.
I have elbow
gloves.
I have gloves that go all the way up to my elbow, but they're welder's gloves, so that would be kind of rough for sex.
But then I bought cheapies. I bought the cheapy yellow orange ones from the 99-cent store because I have this obsession with buying useless stuff in the 99-cent store. But they broke. They snapped. Yeah, they snapped.
They break really easy. Yeah, I've noticed that.
I like to play around with it.
Yeah, I would not trust cheap gloves for sex. I mean, if you're actually looking for protection, you don't want to take chances like that.
See, you guys are making me all happy that I'm almost actually completely healed, and you know, I might be able to go to the swingers club sometime soon. That would make me so happy.
If they're open, I don't know.
I know, that's the thing, if they're open. And the thing is that the person I usually go with, she's not been feeling well, so I don't know if she'll be up to it.
It was one of the things I was looking forward to with moving back to Minnesota, but yeah, then with the COVID thing, not doing any group activities, and I can see online that some people are doing parties again, and it's like, I'm not really comfortable because I've seen the postings by the people who are going to the parties. And these are the same people who think that the vaccine's a hoax and are upset about wearing a mask.
Unfortunately, in my local area, all the groups that would do that are just mostly just husbands with wives that they're trying to convince their wives to do it.
So, Doorknob head, first off, it's never cheap sex with me in the back of my 1988 Ford F-150, first off. And second off, yes, cheap gloves for cheap sex, yes.
I'm all for cheap sex.
Not cheap gloves. Don't never go cheap with the contraceptives or the lube or anything like that. You want to.
Mage, a new mask definitely has a double entendre in this conversation. So
I was going to ask what kind of new mask, because it could be lots of things. The chin strap on. I mean, it could be that.
I agree with Nerdy though. I am going to go full Howie Mandel from now on. Body condom, Leslie Nielsen style. You know what the funny thing is?
Yeah.
The funny thing is, COVID has made me a germaphobe. I was a bit of a germaphobe before, but let's be real, like I would go to bathhouses and stuff, or I'd go to swingers clubs, or I would meet someone's mom in a bar or something, so I wasn't too scared of germs. Now,
yeah, I used to do a lot of online hookups on that, and it's like, yeah,
I did too. And
I won't go to a Dodger game. I won't go sit at a Kings game now, because in LA they won't check. They won't check at all.
Honestly, the 4 most significant relationships in my life started as online hookups.
I have yet to meet someone online who hasn't tried to dox me or kill me.
Maybe
that's me.
My quote unquote longest relationship is an online hookup, but I would probably kill him if I had to spend more than an hour or 2 hours with him, because he has the most insufferable personality ever. But he's not too bad at sex. Okay, but not too bad.
See, that's
I spent
the thing.
11.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I spent 11 years with somebody I met online, and it's just unfortunate that she was the way she was. She was, what am I looking for here? She was on a power trip. She just liked to exert control, if you will, and just that eventually split us up.
Well, this weekend is one of our first kink events that we're doing from one of the organizers that I work with, which is Deviant. And then in a couple weeks, I'm doing another fetish ball. And then in February, we're doing the circus fetish ball. So I have some kink stuff coming up. And my promoter for one of the fetish balls wants to have one of the blow-up balls that you get inside of, and we want to we want to do fetish performances inside the ball, so that the audience is around us while we're doing fetish performances inside the ball.
That is pretty neat.
Okay, looking at you and fetishes, and it seems to involve a lot of piercing, and that an inflatable ball just looks like it's going to have a bad outcome.
It probably won't go very well, but we're going to try it.
Let's be very, very careful.
So I want to tell you a very personal story, and it's actually kind of funny. I don't drink anymore, but I drank and got in one of those things in a bathing suit and went downhill in Vegas. And I got so scared. I was like, am I going to die in one of these stupid balls and a thing of water in my bathing suit?
Will, I'm shocked. You drank?
Oh no, like that's the worst thing you could do, Will. Oh no.
Well, I haven't had a drink. I haven't had a drop in almost 7 or 8 years. Not a drop of booze. I used to make terrible decisions. It was not rare for me to wake up with someone and be like, I don't know how you got here.
So that t-shirt, let's go make bad decisions, that was based on your life, is what I'm hearing?
I was a life of the party. I was a life of the party. That's why when I went to Vegas and I stopped drinking, everyone that knew me would walk up to me and be like, are you okay? Are you okay? Did something happen to you? Did someone hurt you?
Who hurt you?
And I was like,
Show us on the doll where life hurt you.
I would drink moonshine and act like an idiot. Like I had to stop drinking. I loved moonshine, but it didn't love me back.
Moonshine loves everybody, just in different ways.
I actually went for I don't know how many years that I didn't drink. And, I just, the easy out for it was that I just wore a designated driver button, even though I didn't have a car. Which was kind of cool because there were a couple places I went that gave free soft drinks to designated drivers.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of places that do that, which is nice.
What was really great was there was this Mexican place called Montanitas that on Tuesdays they would have an all-you-can-eat taco bar.
Oh.
You know, and basically it was a free taco bar because they figured they're making up with the drink prices, but then they're giving me free sodas. So I was going in there and I was actually getting a free dinner every week.
Yeah, you were drinking like a fish, weren't you?
Well, like I say, they were giving me free sodas because I had the designated driver button. I didn't even own a car.
That's awesome.
Oh, I can get addicted to fountain drinks real quick. I didn't drink soda until I was 25 years old. Until I worked at good old Carl's Jr.
Right now, I have some wild cherry Pepsi. I fucking love wild cherry Pepsi, by the way. But it's hard to find the diet one or the wild cherry Pepsi Max because I'm diabetic and I don't need the sugar. So I can't drink it. It's there mocking me and I can't have a damn sip of it.
You're talking about a soft drink.
Yes.
Okay. My mind went somewhere else.
I have
sweetness.
Oh no, I didn't have a drop of soda until I was 25 because my parents were so hardcore about it. We weren't even Mormon; they were just controlling people.
Yeah, I mean, with me,
Mark,
it's either sex or sodas. There's no in between.
Sex with soda? Oh, sorry. I get what you're saying.
Hey, it's fizzy, so why not?
We're not king of king shaming, right? Yeah, exactly.
Well, when I met my fiance, I was basically going through a 2-liter of Pepsi a day. So she broke me of that because she decided it wasn't good for me. And, ever since then, I can't take any kind of cola. They just all taste weird now.
Really?
My psychiatrist told me to stop sodas, and for whatever reason, I did it. And I don't know why, because I know, he's like, well, it's making your depression worse. I'm like, no, it's not, but whatever. And I just stopped drinking sodas.
Well, and everybody was blaming my bad teeth on the soda until my doctor said, no, that's the acid reflux. That people with acid reflux lose their teeth early.
Oh, heck yeah. Sarah, do you drink coffee?
Come here, you.
I drink some coffee. I drink like maybe a cup a day.
Because I'll tell you, all I do is drink coffee all day long. And if I stopped drinking it, it would add to my depression.
I'm sure it makes... So my thing is I started drinking coffee whenever I started working nights because I naturally do not get tired until like 6 a.m. in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I drink it, 6 a.m. in the morning. My new hours, I fell asleep about 6 p.m. to work at 11 p.m. because I have insomnia. That's when I usually fell asleep. So now I'm drinking coffee because this is usually the time that I'd be going to sleep for work. So I'm tired now. After I, leave you guys, I'm gonna go make some coffee because I am so tired. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's really hard when they change your shift like that.
Oh, my thing is that they changed my shift and my pay, so I'm being screwed. I'm not getting nearly as much as I was before.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to find another job.
One of the things I could never understand was the companies that tried to do these swing shift things that, to be fair to everyone, they would rotate different people on night shift. And it's like,
mine's not doing that.
The only thing you're doing there is you're making sure that no one in the company is ever fully awake.
Yeah, exactly. That's awful.
So mine did that. What they did is they said, well, there's no one calling during the nighttime. So now they close at 11 p.m., which was my shift used to start. Whenever I worked every weekend. So of course I might have had a different experience than everyone else. It was nonstop calls. We never had a break between calls at all. But they were trying to say that no one was calling overnight, so they had to close us. And since I worked weekends, I got a weekend differential. So I'm no longer getting that anymore at all. So I'm making now basically what I was making without my differential whenever I was working, when I was doing the short-term disability when I was in the hospital.
Yeah, I'm sure that they were just, using it as an excuse to reduce hours so they didn't have to be paying so many people.
Yeah, they were trying to say that they were giving us too much free reign overnight because everyone overnight is, been with the company for a while. Like I'm one of the people that's basically considered the babies, and I've been with the company for 10 years.
Whoa, that's like my job. There's people that have worked with my mother longer than I've been alive.
We've got two
So if
slims
anyone
now.
knows of a job that pays really, really well that has benefits, I'm job hunting. Yay me. Because that was the only thing keeping me from looking for another job was the fact that I was getting paid so well.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the COVID kind of forced me into an early retirement because I didn't have time to build a customer base in the new city after I moved.
Well, that sucks.
Well, I had already been questioning how many years I'd be able to keep doing the kind of work I was doing. So basically, COVID just pushed me into having to build up my online stuff more and not be able to do the physical work. So, yeah, I kind of knew it was coming, but I thought I probably still had at least another good 5 years doing the home repairs.
I got a promotion and gained 40 pounds because I was no longer in the field.
So whenever I was looking for a job, like I've already done like a few interviews. One of the interviews asked me, it's like, well, why were you with that company for so long? Are you scared to like go to new places? So like, okay, well maybe I need to emphasize on my resume that I've, worked different jobs in the place. And they're like, well, do you just not like commitment? Is that why you went to so many different jobs? It's like, no, I got a promotion. These jobs are better.
They'll do anything to find an excuse to not take you or not hire you or whatever. Yeah.
Based on earlier stuff on the stream, the kitty wearing elbow-length white gloves is really funny.
Now,
I can give him purple gloves because it's sexier.
If you gave it pineapple on pizza, it'd be full circle.
Well, that's what his paws are holding. He didn't know that.
Out of the stream. She knows better.
Oh damn! But that's what his cute little paws is holding. Is a pineapple pizza.
I'm thinking about getting pizza tonight because Isaiah, I'm gonna be picking him up right around the time I cook dinner. So
you can have the pizza. You just save the pineapple for dessert. Pineapple must never come in contact with any tomato-based product. That's all.
Wait, you want us for dessert? Is that what you're saying?
Sarah. I like dessert.
Yeah.
Careful.
Hey, dessert. Everybody loves dessert.
Ever since I was told not to eat dairy.
Pussy has always been my favorite dessert, but
I was in the doctor and the doctor told me like you can't eat dairy. I was like, even soft serve? And my doctor walked out. Like a grown ass man asking a stupid ass question. Oh, I had a soft serve addiction, and I would go to McDonald's. That's why Isaiah's so hooked on McDonald's. Like he would get whatever he wanted, and I'm like, I need 2 cones. I'm gonna eat them both on the way home.
Okay, and some of the dessert pizzas are good, although I have to say that's definitely pizza in name only. It's not really pizza.
Okay, so I know this is kind of ghetto and from the 80s. This is my brain from the late 80s, early 90s. But back in the day, Taco Bell had a Mexican pizza, and it was really good.
Okay.
They did, and people are still pissed that they took that away.
Mark, you do not have enough whiskey to make me buy that as being a rational argument.
Oh, wait. We have whiskey?
Mark makes his own whiskey.
I have work in like an hour and a half, so I can't drink.
Yeah, Mark actually makes his own whiskey. I wish I was close enough to try some of it.
I smoke weed and I don't like pineapple on pizza, and everything tastes good to me.
I don't want to be kicked from the stream, so I'm not going to say what I think about pineapple on pizza.
Well, yeah,
I'd like to stay in Purple's good graces.
It's okay. We try to have compassion until we can remove the malfunctioning brain chips.
Uh-huh.
I had an ex-girlfriend who was El Salvadorian, and I lived with her and her family for a while. They loved pineapple on pizza.
Yeah, pineapple on pizza is a problem because the Tyrannosaur overlords didn't really understand enough about mammal brains. So when they malfunction, they upset your center of taste and make you think that weird things taste good.
The only time I have pineapple on pizza is when I have a girl named Pineapple and I make her sit on my pizza. But that's different.
I know pineapple and peaches. I miss Mercedes too.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Going back to the thing about dessert pizza, I have to say that if it does not involve tomato sauce and cheese, then it's technically not pizza.
Okay, but what about Alfredo? And can I say this really quick? This is the first time that we've actually come full circle and made the conversation relevant. What about Alfredo sauce?
No, Alfredo or pesto
So
sauce
she
is
doesn't like white
technically no
pizza.
longer pizza.
And I have a question. So, are you just not saying point blank no fruit on pizza because tomatoes are a fruit? Are you just trying to avoid that?
I'm just saying that pineapple and tomato-based products should never come together.
Okay.
I'm not making a determination about any other type of fruit. I'm not making a blanket statements.
Mm-hmm.
Skid Scratcher is right. I wonder how Hawaiians feel about Hawaiian pizza. And I'm gross. I grew up eating sardines, so I think sardines are amazing.
Of course they are amazing.
I love sardines.
My fiance loves sardines.
I would not be able
Sardines
to
are
have
fruit
sardines
fruit.
on my pizza without the cats having a revolt, so I don't want to deal with that shit. I already have one of them that will attack a bitch for some chicken.
Okay. On the question of how Hawaiians feel about it, actually in Hawaii, you're not going to get pizza with Canadian bacon, though. It's more likely to have chunks of Spam on it.
So they fucking love some Spam.
Yeah, it'll be Spam,
Well,
yeah.
since all the meat has to be imported to the island, canned meat just makes more sense. It's easier to transport without it going bad.
Okay, again, because my
Okay,
dad...
and Nerdy has a valid point here that, most of the stuff we think of as traditional Italian food never originated in Italy. For one thing, there were no tomatoes in Europe until the end of the 1500s because they're only native to South America. So until until they had discovered the Americas and they were able to bring produce back from South America, no one in Europe had seen a tomato. Which is why the word tomato in Italian actually means poison apple.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm...
And I'm guessing that has to do with a lot of people having a bad allergic reaction to it when they first encountered them.
Oh, this is reminding me of a skit in Stargate
It was so
Atlantis.
acidic.
Oh, go
It
ahead.
was so acidic as well, and that's when people were taking it very. But
Slim, you're roboting really bad.
You're being a cyborg, my dude.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's hard to make out what you were saying there because we're missing half the words.
This whole conversation reminds me of a Stargate Atlantis episode where Rodney McKay crashes in the ocean and they're talking about tomatoes. About the guy who discovered tomatoes, and he's like, "Why are we talking about tomatoes?"
Why would we not be talking about tomatoes?
I love that show. I love Stargate Atlantis. I stand.
I never got to Atlantis. I never finished the original series.
That's actually season 1 too. Back when, or no, it might have been season 2. That's back when they were on the Sci-Fi Channel together with SG-1 and Atlanta.
Okay, and is it my connection or did we just lose Will?
I'm right here. Am I here?
I think it's your connection.
Yeah, but we lost
Will's
your
here.
audio there for a sentence or two.
Oh, well, hello. Godless Sewing at the Godless Sewing channel. Can you still hear me?
Is everybody else hearing that? Is it just my headset going out or what?
I think it's your headset because I hear him perfectly fine.
Okay,
good.
Yeah, I think my headset's dying because I was having that problem earlier of it switching from one side to the other.
Set it on fire.
Well, I'll have to check if it's properly plugged in, but I can't reach the back of the computer right now.
I have a ton of... I go to the 99-cent store by my house and I buy earbuds because I can't wear the big ones over my ears while I'm streaming. It's just too distracting.
Well, surprisingly, this is a Logitech. This is a Logitech, so it's a decent brand, but this was only like a $20 headset that I bought 4 or 5 years ago, and it's held up pretty well.
That's like my second camera. I did an emotional buy on Amazon, which I actually did another emotional buy, and you guys can just guess what I recently bought on Amazon. But this camera is amazing. And for $30, it's an awesome camera. And I'm rough with stuff. I'm the guy who can't have nice things. Because I always end up spilling coffee on it or something, and
my mind is just in the gutter today, and I blame all of you. It's all your faults, every one of you.
In Spanish, they used to call me Amigo Branco because I was literally a bull in a china shop.
Yeah. My problem is when I have nice things, I somehow have a reluctancy to actually use them. It's something I've got to get over, that it's okay for me to have good things for myself.
I don't like buying my stuff nice things. Like, it took me forever to convince myself to buy a tablet, because my tablet that I had was just completely on the fritz. And now this one's going on the fritz, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do whenever this one goes out of commission, because I can't afford a new one. But yeah, it took me forever to convince myself that I need to buy a tablet, because I was like, itching to draw, and I get pissed off at myself because my hands start shaking. And this actually smooths out the lines for the most part, which is why I like having a tablet.
Yeah. Well, Sarah, I don't know what your requirements are for a tablet. I don't know what price range you're looking at.
Right now, I can't afford anything. Like, I'm completely broke right now because of my job fucking me over.
See, you have some some talent that can actually be sold there. So I think in your case, we could probably do a fundraiser, and you could do an art auction and probably raise enough to get a tablet.
I've been told that my art is shitty and no one wants it, so.
Who are these people?
Unless it's free.
Who are these people? You point me in their direction.
Yeah, I really think that, in our community, that you could, especially if you did offer to do custom avatars for a couple of people. I think you could raise some money to get a tablet.
I know you've seen my Twitter. I recycle clothes like a hobo and stitch them by hand, and people love my stuff. You never know.
This is my human style. Is really cartoony. I do that. I was working on examples for commissions, which is this, but that was me basically tracing my fucking picture because I'm lazy as shit.
Well, even the cartoony style.
And then I'm working on this one because the thing is, I do hair way too detailed, unfortunately.
That's what people need
even
for their
the cartoony
avatars.
style, though. I see a lot of people on Twitter with avatars that aren't even of that quality.
That's what I'm saying. And that first one you showed reminds me of a friend I had that passed away.
Which one?
This one?
I'll show you.
Oh, the breather?
Yeah.
Yeah, your poor friend.
Oh, he was a good guy. He was.
The person that's a picture of that I drew of the guy that calls and he's masturbating, and we recently had a new one of that. We had a guy who says, "My wife is pregnant. We have a son." He'll start asking you increasingly weird questions about castration. What is it called for guys where they cut off the tip?
Oh,
circumcision.
Circumcision.
Yeah.
He starts asking increasingly weird questions about circumcision. You're asking these about a kid, though. That's what makes it so weird for me.
Where I live, that's illegal.
Well, I'll have to ask him if he lives in California next time I get him before I send him over to our trash thing.
And if it wasn't weird enough, and again, I know this because I grew up in a heavily Jewish community.
Doorknob.
But traditionally, after the snip, the rabbi sucks on it to clean it.
Yeah, that's why they were talking about they had a really bad outbreak of face herpes.
Yeah.
Well, not face herpes. There's face herpes to babies.
This is under that category of, I swear I'm not making this up. This is a historical fact.
This is why religions are just yikes. We all know the conversation. We've said it before. That's gross.
Yeah, I think I need to start compiling these things, and I need to start doing a series of videos that are just, I swear I'm not making this up.
Oh, you can find videos of them doing that shit on YouTube and stuff.
Oh.
And like I don't know what I was watching. But they're talking about like there was like a really big outbreak of like little babies getting herpes because of that practice.
That's on my list now. Stop giving babies herpes. That's on the
Yeah,
list
no baby
of
herpes.
weird things. People are trash. We are trash monkeys. That's why our species is just yikes.
We're something, that's for sure.
I try not to be anti-religion. I think people should be able to do and practice whatever they want, but leave
Within
kids
reason.
alone. Yeah. Without singing the song, leave those kids alone.
Yeah, well, I say I don't care what anybody believes. I only care when they start using it to push public policy and pass laws.
Very much so. That's like the Republicans who say they want small government and they want to be left alone, but then they create a giant government and they want to be in your house.
Yeah.
And they love to be
We
all
want
up in some
small
vaginas,
government, but
except
we
for,
want to
for having
control what
sex.
you're doing in your bedroom.
I don't get it. That's why I asked that question hours ago. Like, what the hell? What gives them the right to want to be in my house, in my bedroom, or censor what I do or say? Because that's what the Republican Party wants to do.
Oh yeah, like there's still so many like ridiculous laws on the books for like sex. Like there's places where sodomy is illegal, but sodomy is basically anything but sex to make a baby.
In Texas, homosexuality was considered sodomy up until what, like 2010 or something like that? Because I remember an SNL skit.
In Minnesota, there is a law that it's illegal to have sex with a rooster, which implies that they were okay with you doing it with a chicken, just not a rooster. I mean, why does the law have to be that fucking specific? Shouldn't there just be a general law that you can't do this with animals?
I always like to think they caught somebody who was a rooster.
They had to, yeah.
Because the rooster is a male, and the people usually doing that are men. And sex is between a man and a woman. Got to have a pee-pee and a vagina.
Well, and you look at this, and it's like none of these laws existed if they hadn't caught somebody doing it, and they said, "Well, there's no law against it."
Alexa, is it illegal to have sex with sheep in California?
This might answer your question. According to Wikipedia, the age of consent in California is 18 years
Alexa,
old.
thank you.
That's not what I asked.
Anytime. Literally.
I don't think we have a law against. I was just thinking I don't think we have a law against that because we have a law against everything, and I work around farm animals. And if I see anyone around my sheep, I will shoot you.
So a friend of mine runs she used to run a chicken farm, and she said the number of people sending her videos of someone having sex with a chicken to mess with her is ridiculous. She's like, honestly, I don't care what you do with the chicken after I sell it to you. It's your chicken.
I would attack. I don't know how I would react. They had one day I'm in the field. I'm just kind of standing there smoking a cigarette. I see a row of 30 cop cars. I'm like, oh man, what happened? They went to the ranch next door. This person had a full cockfighting ring going on with roosters and everything, and they raided his property.
Yeah, they did something like that in my hometown before, because like some guy was like raising chickens for it, and he was dumb, and he thought that since he lived in my hometown, that him telling the police officer from my hometown about it was okay. And
I'm like,
they're like,
oh, sorry.
Okay, and people are appalled by cockfighting and dogfighting, and yet somehow they think Pokemon is cute. What's the difference? It's kids training their pets to fight each other.
Okay, but do you watch UFC? Does anyone here watch UFC fighting?
Nope.
No,
I'm not. I consider it kind of dumb, to tell you the honest truth. But I grew up watching WWF, so what do I know? Doc, do you watch UFC? Doc?
Yeah.
It's just my whole point is
wrestling on TV is not a sport. It's soap opera for men.
Okay, I love soap operas. Where do we draw the line, though, is my whole point. And I'm against animal cruelty. Let me just get that out there 1,000. If I caught someone harming an animal, I would probably harm them.
Yeah, you draw the line at consenting adults. Animals cannot understand the consequences of what's going to happen, so they cannot give intelligent consent.
Okay, I agree with that. My neighbors,
everything draws the line at fully informed consent. And that's why you can't do it with kids either, because kids don't understand that this can have consequences down the line.
Oh, we have a saying around here. It's do whatever you want, leave animals and kids out of it.
I mean, there was an article about I think it was like preschool teachers that had like a fight ring of children. So it's happened.
See, Skiz Crasher is on it. It's illegal to hump sheep. Don't do animal cruelty near me. If you come on my ranch, I'm okay. This whole conversation made me think to protect animals, because people are strange like that. They're just strange.
They are. People be weird.
And I'm all about weird stuff, but just leave animals out of it, man.
Yes, please leave. Well, unless you're like Sir Little Wolf or some of the other people in the community who count as a furry, then we can't. But other than that, yeah, leave the animals out of it.
Oh, furry parties are awesome. I
used to draw furry art.
I have an eagle head.
There you go, Will. Skitz Crasher even has the statute of why you can't have sex with animals.
So yeah, I was going to say, I knew there was one in California. Sorry, I had to get into my spaceship, and now I'm naked. So see,
that's awesome.
Naked.
So awesome. I'm home naked. So yes, I feel comfortable now.
To be fair, if I was in a spaceship, I would be too in outer space. Do you know how much space there is? I would be floating around in my suit upside down. That would be awesome.
Yes, I'm totally wearing clothes right now.
I do that in the after stream.
Naked in a spaceship makes perfect sense because you want to save every possible gram of weight so that you don't have to use as much propellant to launch.
Hey, my boots and belt and everything weigh like 4 pounds. They add almost 4 or 5 pounds.
That's my excuse to be naked, is to take the weight off when I launch my rockets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's to minimize the weight at launch.
Rockets.
Exactly. Yeah, rockets.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Doc's out. I heard that too.
That happens every stream.
Guys.
No, don't be. Not at all.
Oh, sweetie, don't apologize.
My bedtime is like 45 minutes ago. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and hop off here, guys.
It was great seeing you, Doc.
Needs to sleep. You got to work tonight.
No, I'm off tonight, but I still just can't stay awake. So.
Well, you're always off. I was asking if you had to go to
work. I'm off, and I also don't work. Hey, day, fellas.
Okay,
bye. And Nerdy, just to let you know, I have a huge hole. That's how much space is in my spaceship. But
perverts, all of you.
Yes.
Oh, my mind went in like 75 different directions when you said that.
Yeah. Now that I'm home naked, it's gonna get a lot worse with the innuendos.
I just have 9-inch nails stuck in my head now. Head like a hoe.
I just want to say I've seen a floor plan now for the Millennium Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
I do not know how they get away with calling that a Corellian freighter. It actually has more space dedicated to ammunition storage than it does to cargo space.
Is that before or after Mr. Solo did modifications on it?
The point is, it does not have a cargo bay that you could ever drive a vehicle into. That does not qualify as a freighter.
You know, I love looking at specs. That's one nerdy thing I do. I look at specs of spaceships and stuff, and I'm like, woo, that's huge.
I used to look at specs of computers all the time. I haven't done that in a while.
I have magazines. I have Future Life magazine from the early 80s.
Oh, neat.
I love looking at the ads in the back.
There's a great channel called Space Doc that all he does is reviews of ships from various science fiction shows.
I'm subscribed to that channel. I watch that all the time.
I've been looking at the specs of vibrators and dildos lately, but that's for a whole different reason.
I mean, I'm all for that. That sounds fun.
Most vibrators and dildos could make good spaceships.
Have you ever?
Have you looked at the shape of most
They're good for docking. They're good for docking.
Have you ever lived in
Doorknob had
Hollywood
mentioned that
before?
earlier.
Slim, have you ever lived in Hollywood?
Yeah, I stayed up in that area a little bit, you know.
Our sex shops have improved. They have walls of dills that just have buckles and knobs on them and hooks and all kinds of fun stuff.
I can't wait to go back there. Like I think I was saying last week or the week before, I want to do a West Coast tour. So I want to go to Tijuana all the way to Canada, and I want to just go up and up the coast and just see everybody again and see all the stuff I haven't seen in like. I moved here in 2006 to Colorado from there, so I haven't really been back very much since then. So I've been missing a lot of time.
I have to warn you though, and I'm not even trying to be funny. And even when I was driving back right now, I saw some dude with a smashed out window just in his car chilling. Crime is through the roof on the West Coast right now. It's like the 90s. So I'm just warning you with love. You know, I'm being
He's gonna break into your car is what he's saying. He's planning on doing it himself. He just wants to warn you.
No, I'm driving by and I look because I'm in my big beater truck and I look over and some guy has his and he probably had something valuable in his car and his back window smashed. That's the new normal here, and I live in the suburbs on the good side of town. Shit is it's unreal here now.
I normally have somebody who I hang out with wherever I go, whichever town I'm in, so they can kind of make sure that I'm not getting into trouble with the law or any locals and stuff. So
quite honestly, most people wouldn't like when I have my vest on. No one walks up to me at all. No one says a word. You know what I'm saying? It's just the rules like the 90s. If you mind your own business, if you don't go looking for trouble, you won't find it.
Well, I think I might have said this.
Act like you ain't seen nothing.
I think I might have said this when I went to Oakland to perform. As we were driving into Oakland, there was a cop car on cinder blocks that had been stripped down and had graffiti all over the frame. It was like, okay, well, I guess I shouldn't talk shit here, like I gotta mind my P's and Q's or like not fuck with anybody, And then when
is not like the movies.
Yeah, and then I was on stage, and in the middle of my performance, a lady walks up to me and goes, "You want some free LSD? You want some LSD?" I'm like, "Can you wait till I get off stage?" Like, I'm almost done. Like, we'll talk later. Like, I literally was like offered free drugs other than pot, which happens constantly as a performer in the states where it's legal. I will literally get people throwing joints and stuff up on stage or giving me them in my hat for tips. But I never had somebody walk up to me other than Oakland.
I give joints out as tips to people.
Folks.
Yeah.
We've been going almost 4 hours. I'm going to lie down again, so let's wrap this up here.
Totally.
I'm surprised you guys were still going when I came back.
Okay, well, Slim, you want to go? What do you want to chill? Any final words?
As always, thank you very much for having me. I'm sure I will jump on anytime that you send me the link, Purple, and I'm awake or not at a show. In about 30 minutes, I will be doing a drunken news report stream, which is a new thing that I'm doing. And Dick McHickerson may be making an appearance for the first time.
Ooga.
So I have a Southern gentleman who is my third cousin removed. I don't know what that means exactly. He was married to my aunt's sister, wife's husband or dog or something. I don't know. So he may be making an appearance for this stream. And what we do for this one is we just go over like crazy, weird current news reports while I'm drunk, which, I mean, obviously that's always, but it's supposed to be different. I don't know. So thank you very much for having me here. I will post the link in the side chat in just a second.
Well, Slim, you're always welcome to come in. Unfortunately, I can't add you to the Twitter group for this, so apparently somebody in there has you blocked.
Ooh, kinky.
So
I'm blocked by God is selling his block by
links, but I mean, if you ever see I'm running, just pop in the side chat and I'll send you a link.
Awesome, totally, yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Don't feel bad. I'm blocked by half the internet.
And And then if any of you are ever like watching me streaming, just message me in Discord or get a hold of me somehow, and I'll send you a link, because I would love to have any of you on our panel or as a guest on any of my shows, especially Cookie McSweet Tits.
Yeah, I'd like to get into some of those with you. It just seems that the timing hasn't been working out. You usually go on Tuesday at what time?
So I'm doing Monday, either 2:30 or 3:30 Mountain Standard Time for my crazy shite stream. Tuesday is Cookie McSweet Tits, 2:30 to 3:30, and it's butt stuff is what her stream is called. And then Wednesday is Drunken News Report or Newscast that I do 2:30 to 3:30. I'm still trying to figure out like the best thing, time I want to do that.
Yeah, and you're on Mountain Time, so you're like an hour behind me, I think.
Right now, it's going to be 3 p.m. and 6 minutes.
Yeah, so we're going on 4 o'clock here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's usually the thing that you're usually starting up when it's still kind of early in the day, and I'm still usually working on other projects.
Okay. I try to do it because the people in the Europes can jump on board with us. So we try to have a bunch of... I like to have people from all around the world on my panel and shows, just so that I can get a world perspective. When I'm talking bullcrap, then people can call me out who live in another place. There's like, no, this is like what we see from our perspective, and I'd rather be called out. And then, so thank you all very much. I'll stop talking now.
Well, no, that's actually why I do this afternoon show. That I had originally started just doing the Thursday at midnight. And yeah, I was getting a lot of things from especially people in the UK who were interested, but it was just way too late for them. Okay. Sarah, you got anything? Doing your artwork?
I'm trying to edit some art videos to make them either... I want to do the shorts, because apparently with this art style, it does by... the video does by strokes, and it doesn't take nearly as many strokes if you're just doing like blocks of color. My YouTube is YouTube/users the Indigo Llama.
Okay.
Or Seraphim High if you want to search for me. If you'd rather do it the hard way.
No, people can always go to the description for these chats, and I have everybody's links there. So, yeah, anybody that you've seen in one of my chats, you should be able to go click on the description in the chat, and you should be able to find the links for everybody who showed up.
Yay!
So, Diana, you've got...
Oh, letter to see is the thing for you. I guess next thing is probably on the Sunday is the coffee with the lavender and me and the Kate. And if Menda shows up, or if Mom Nato shows up, or if you show up, then we have all that kind of fun for you. And it's good for that. It's the Sunday, noon Eastern and stuff and things. And then on the Monday, if nothing goes tits up, I don't know. But if nothing goes tits up on the Monday, I get this damn port out of my chest. Yay!
Oh,
yes. Yeah. Again, we are crossing our vagina, lips, and our testicles. That goes well, and that happens for you for sure. Because yes, you need that.
I sit funny every time you say that. Every time you say that, I need to do a shake.
Yeah, that sounds not fun.
That would be life changing if your testicles crossed. That'd be the worst pain ever.
For you, is this thing to get into making. Then is the real shower.
Yes, the real
making for first time in 8 months for fuck's sake.
Oh my god, I was so happy when I could take a normal shower due to my whole thing with the hospital recently. So I feel you on that one, darling.
Yeah, exactly. Me too.
All kinds of fun, and wash my own hair and not pay $25 to get my hair washed.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That must be a royal pain.
It is the poo-poo-ness. That's what it is.
Da.
You know the poo-poo? Yeah, it's a good thing Kate's not here. Jumping all over me.
Okay, Will, do your spiel.
Mo?
How's it going? I'm Godless Sewing from the Godless Sewing.
And then he went out.
Okay, this time it was him.
Yeah, this time it was his fault.
Yes,
yeah, he's
it was.
frozen. His connection froze up.
For you.
That's what happens when you get that excited. You can't be that excited on stream.
Well,
I mean, you can. You just have to warn
we'll
us
see if
beforehand.
he comes back by the time I finish here. Yeah, of course, I'll be back here tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Central. And next week again, Wednesday at noon. And be on with the shills Saturday at 6. And yeah, Wednesday evening, because I usually get in there with B, who starts at 7:45 Central.
Yeah, that's another reason I hate this new shift. Everyone's streaming when they're at work.
Yeah. I hated second shift. Third shift, you could still do things in the evening.
Well, yeah, third shift I
really
could still, but this one I can't.
Yeah. So, and of course, I need to thank all the people who have been continuing to send me money on Patreon. Dog and Greg Hartwick. Ox, who has been here in the chat and moderating for us. Robert X, Lavender Lady.
Who the hell is that?
Yep. Jyuni the Apostate, who was here for a while and is doing all my artwork. And Vonrick and X from the Utah Artcast. I appreciate y'all, helping me keep things running without it being money out of my pocket.
Well.
Okay, yeah, now we'll just put a note in the side chat that his internet died, so he can't do his spiel.
No.
So you just have to
just still for him, or have that energy.
Space for more sewing stuff.
Yeah, he talks about sewing machines and stuff and things. You should visit his channel for sewing
Stuffing
machines
things.
and stuff and things.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
things.
Yes. I like stuffing things, but we'll talk about that in the next stream.
Okay, so with that, then
That is pretty fun.
bye all. We will see you all tomorrow night then.